It's time for the Coach Groves Show, where we sit down with the head coach of the Darlington Tigers football team and talk about all things Darlington School football. Now we go live to Matt Davis and Ian Griffin, who are standing by with Coach Wayne Groves.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the inaugural edition of the Coach Groves Show, where we talk all things Darlington football with the head Tiger himself, Wayne Groves. If you're joining us on Facebook Live or our YouTube channel, we're glad to have you with us. It's a new season. We've got a lot of new things going on here at WLAQ, so our coverage is going to be a little different. You can join us live for this show on Wednesday nights at 7, and then we're going to rebroadcast it on Friday nights as part of our Darlington football coverage. So, Matt, break down how things are going to work on Friday nights for us.
Absolutely, and I apologize for the delay getting on. This is a brand new endeavor, and when I hit go, it didn't go. But I think we get all sorted out, and we're happy to be here. And first things first, I just want to take the opportunity to thank Coach Groves for being here, because he literally came straight from practice, changed clothes real quick, and now he's sitting in the studio with us. So we're excited to have you here, Coach. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you guys. I mean, anytime we can get Darlington football and talk about that in a public forum, we want to do that and obviously promote our program and see all the great things we're doing at Darlington School with the football team.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what this show is designed to do. Every Wednesday, we're going to sit down with Coach Groves here for about 30 minutes and talk all things Darlington football. And then, of course, the audio of this will play back ahead of the pregame show coming up on Friday nights. And Ian, can you believe it? It's here.
I know.
Friday night lights are going to be shining bright with the regular season beginning this weekend.
Yeah, we've waited all summer, and we're ready for some football. And we get to start off at Chris Hunter Stadium. Me and Matt are excited to be in the air-conditioned booth during this nice August heat wave we're dealing with.
I don't know if I'd have said that to him, because he's going to be standing out there in the elements, Ian.
That's true. But this show's going to be great. We're going to break down what happens on Friday nights. And, Coach Groves, we want to start by talking about your path to Darlington. I mean, this is a new endeavor for you. You've put in a lot of work, and you're the head man now for the Darlington Tigers. So tell us how you got here, how you got into coaching.
Well, this has been my dream to be a head coach, and so this has been quite a process. 21 years. This is my 21st year coaching high school football. I guess you could say it started back in high school. I played football from second grade all the way up, and I played high school football here locally at Pepperell. I'm a local Lindale guy. So, I played 3 sports in high school. I played football, basketball, baseball. Went to college, and once I figured out I wasn't going to play pro football, I wanted to find some way to get involved and stay involved in athletics. I had such good high school coaches at Pepperell. Lynn Honeycutt, David Jones, Todd Wheeler, Frank Pinson were all guys that really invested in me, not only as a football player and as an athlete, but as a person. And that really just stood out to me and made such an impact on my life. And when I thought about choosing a career path, I thought, what better way to pay it forward than to be a football coach? So I went to West Georgia and started getting in with some of the coaches there at Central Carrollton and Carrollton. And I just asked them, say, hey, Coach, I want to be a football coach. I want to just hang around. And coaches like David Gibbs at Central and Carrollton and Randy Pageant, let me sit in on meetings and let me come and be at practice. And I was just the young guy in the back of the room asking questions. Why, Coach? Why y'all do it that way? Why do we have to teach it that way? And so I just started learning my path into learning, not only, my position that I coach, but just whole program philosophies. Well, when I graduated from West Georgia, those guys wanted to keep me on staff there at Carrollton Central, and they didn't have a teaching spot for me. So they made some calls, and I ended up with my first coaching job was at Upson Lee High School down in Thomaston, Georgia, where the Georgia High School Association is located. My first job was a freshman head football coach job. Was the defensive coordinator, and then I coached running backs on offense. And the first year we took the team and we went undefeated. And so our head coach retired after that, and our varsity D coordinator, Eddie Payne, got the head coaching job. And our head coach, Mike Major, said, I got one request when I retire. You take my man, Wayne Groves, and you move him up to the varsity. So the very first year, my second year coaching, I got to coach the linebackers. So I coached the linebackers a couple of years, and then I wanted to get over on the offensive side of the ball to kind of broaden my, knowledge and vision of football. And so then I coached running backs for a couple of years. And then I got the opportunity. North Paulding High School was opening up in Dallas, Georgia. And so it was a brand new school. They were going to start playing varsity football with freshmen and sophomores only. So I contacted Heath Webb, who has been the head coach for about 2 weeks. And I said, I'm looking to be a strength conditioning coach, because that's another thing that I'm heavily involved in, is the strength conditioning aspect. My degree's in health and kinesiology, so and I've got a few strength conditioning certifications. So Heath hired me as a young coach, as the defensive coordinator, and as the strength conditioning coach. And so we started that program with just freshmen and sophomores. They made us play a varsity schedule. And so that first year, we took our lumps, basically playing a varsity with JV kids. And so we went 2-8 that first year. And then the second year we went 5-5. The third year we went 6-4. And it made some contacts through the coaching world. And so I got a call from Rance Gillespie at Valdosta High School, and that's kind of a dream job for an assistant coach. Valdosta is the winningest high school football program in the country. They've won more state championships and national championships than any other school in Georgia. So I went down to Valdosta and interviewed that spring of 2011, and Rance Gillespie put me through it. I'm talking about an 8-hour interview on the board. We didn't even eat lunch. We didn't come up for air for anything. And when I left, he said, "Coach, I'm going to interview one more guy, and I'm going to call you back by the end of the week, and I'm going to let you know my decision." Well, I went down the road about 30 minutes, and he called me, and he said, "Coach, I don't have to interview that other guy." He was like, "You're the guy for the job. Do you want to come to Valdosta?" And so, no doubt, yes, sir, I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow if I can work with you guys. And so, playing in Region 1 and coaching in Region 1, it just made me a much better coach. I mean, every team down there is so good. Every team is so coached up very well. And so the littlest of details can win a game for you or lose a game. You fumble the ball, you're probably going to lose a game. You drop a punt, you're probably going to lose a game. So it just made me be such a detailed-oriented coach in every aspect of the game. Well, fast forward, I was there for 3 years at Valdosta, and Coach Reed, who was obviously the head coach at Rome, he was the head coach at Tift at the time. And he had just got the job at Rome. Obviously, when we were at Valdosta, we beat Coach Reed 3 years in a row when he was at Tift. And so I told him, I'm from the Rome area. I'd love to come up there and be your defensive coordinator and run the weight room for you. And so I interviewed in Tift County at Coach Reed's house, and he offered me a job right on the spot. And so we came up here in 2015 after being moved away from Rome for about 15 years. And the first year, we went 8-4, and me and Coach Reed coached the defense by ourselves that first year. And then the next year we won a state championship. The third year we won another state championship. And then we just kept having success at the Rome. In 8 years, 6 region championships, 2 state championships, and 3 Final Fours. I had a lot of opportunities to be head coach after those first state championships, second state championship. But I was going to be very selective about the job that I took. I didn't want to take a head coaching job just to take one. I wanted to take one that I was going to be able to be successful, one that had a great community, great support, great tradition. And so when Darlington called me this spring, I thought, man, this is going to be awesome. And I said, so I put all my eggs in that basket. I told my wife, I said, I think I can be the head coach at Darlington. I think they're going to offer me this job. And what perfect job for me. I mean, it's 2.3 miles away from my house. Again, it checked all the boxes I was looking for. Great administration, Brent Bell and our athletic director, Eddie Guth, and Nathan West, and then the board of trustees. They will do anything to support the head football coach. And so, here I am, and so I've been on the job since I showed up in about midway through April. And so we got to do spring practice. We got to do a great summer practice. And so now we are knocking on the door of 223 season. So 2 days away, and we kick off at Chris Hunter Stadium. So here we are, and that's kind of my path and what got me here. And I couldn't be more excited.
Well, Coach, I wanted to ask you, obviously you've been coaching for a long time, and boy, what a journey and what some great programs and coaches you've coached under. But as far as making the transition, from a coordinator to a head coach, what are some of the things that you've learned so far in that process? I mean, I know there's some things that you can prepare yourself for, but until you're in that situation, I'd imagine there's just some things that you can't prepare for. So what are some of the things that that you've learned the most out of the last several months and getting ready for the season?
Well, you just never know about your to-do list until you actually start writing everything down. When I was a defensive coordinator, my to-do list was about a half a page long. Now, as a head coach, that thing's about 4 pages long every day. Just from making sure you got enough Gatorade, making sure you have a chain crew on Friday night, making sure that the concession stand is ready to go. All the little things that you would never think about that's outside of the aspect of coaching and teaching and lifting weights and training the athletes. It's all the little things that really pull your time away.
Making sure that you're at the radio station to talk to the radio guys.
That's right.
After practice, which, by the way, again, we just really, really appreciate you being here. It's a thrill to have you here and launch the Coach Grove Show here today on YouTube and then also the Facebook Live. And just we appreciate the opportunity to talk to you, man. This is great. Yeah.
Absolutely. And now you talked a lot about strength and conditioning. That's something you're passionate about. Your degree was in that area. So you've retained that at Darlington as well. You're leading the strength and conditionings.
That's right. After my first year, I failed to mention at Upson Lee, I was kind of assistant coach in the weight room, and then I did such a good job. I guess the head coach said, you're going to be my full-time guy. And so I've been a strength conditioning coordinator, not only for football, but for all athletics at every school I've been at for the last 20 years.
Well, I had the privilege to sit in and view a couple of your sessions at Rome High School when you were there, covering it for the magazine, and it's a spirited weight room. So yeah, the guys were loving it, and I got to see what a motivator you are. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, guys, we need to take a quick break here on the program, but we got a whole slew of stuff that we're going to continue to talk about before we wrap things up today. So a lot to cover and not a lot of time. So we'll take a break, we'll come back, and we'll continue this inaugural edition of the Coach Wayne Grove Show right here on WLAQ YouTube and also our Facebook live stream. We're so glad to have you with us today and enjoying our conversation with Coach Groves. We'll return.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
Character. We want to have a high emphasis on building the man, a high emphasis on character and teaching these young men what it's meant to be a man, a good man, a godly man, a Christian man, but to be able to make good choices and be a good man first. The second is we're going to stress academics big time. Darlington is a high academic school, and so we're going to grade check. Me and Coach King, my offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, we're going to do bi-weekly grade checks, and when a kid doesn't have an A or B average, we're gonna reach out to those teachers, we're gonna reach out to the kid, and we're gonna get those kids in study hall and office hours, and make sure we help them out that way. And then the third part, and I make no apologies about it, I was hired to be a football coach, so we got to win football games. So that means we got to practice hard, we got to lift weights hard, and the kids have got to sacrifice a little bit of social time for time training and investing in the team. So that's kind of my vision and my mission. And so we've started off, and I was able to hire 2 new coaches right off the get-go, and then I was able to keep 3 coaches that were currently on staff. So Coach Jason King is my offensive coordinator. Coach King's from Noonan. He played football at Auburn. And then when I was actually leaving Valdosta, he was actually coming in, and there was about a 2-month period where me and him got to be really good buddies. And so after our second year at Rome, Coach King was looking to move back up toward North Georgia, and I got him hired at Rome. So Coach King's been with me at Rome as a running backs coach, and so now I was blessed to be able to hire him and bring him over here with us because he's a sharp young guy with a great offensive mind. The second guy I was able to hire right off the get-go is Mark Loudermilk, the milkman, as people call him. Coach Loudermilk is a 35-plus year veteran coach. He's our offensive line coach. He's my assistant head coach. Coach Loudermilk has had a track record of success for many years, and he was the head coach at Trine for many years and took them to some Final Fours and a lot of region championships. He was the head coach at Pickens County. He was the head coach at Cedartown, and I think was the Rome News Tribune Coach of the Year one year. Me and Coach Loudermilk worked together at Valdosta for those years that I was there, and just became really, really close. And then he's been at other great programs like Carrollton and Thomasville, and really had a lot of success. So to be able to have a veteran guy like that can really hold down the offensive line, and a guy that I can lean on maybe some of those issues that a brand new head coach needs some advice on, be able to have him be on my staff is huge. So Coach Loudermilk, and then I was able to keep Coach Alex Abels as our wide receiver coach. Alex is a bright young coach. He works extremely hard. He's actually finishing up his degree. He'll be finished this year. But he had all his classes set up. He's community coach for 4 years at Darlington as the receivers coach. And so he does all his classes during the day, and then he's over there in the afternoon, full-time coach with us. And so Coach Abels. And then Patrick Collier is my special teams coordinator and my defensive backs coach. Patrick is a Darlington guy. Went there, actually played with Coach King at Auburn, so there was a relationship there as far as them knowing each other and being buddies. And so, again, Patrick is a top-notch. I mean, you just talk about a guy that works at it and just has a passion for kids and football, and Coach Collier's that guy. And then the last guy is Bryant Powers. I got Bryant as a community coach. Kept Bryant as a community coach. He'd been helping out in different capacities at Darlington for the last couple of years. But and y'all know Bryant's daddy, Gordon, who was coach for 40 years high school football, and Bryant played college football. And so our staff is small, but I think there's not a better staff that one cares about kids, and that two that's passionate and going to work to develop this team and move us forward.
And obviously, this is a transitional year for you as becoming a new head coach, but also for some of the players that have been in the program for a long time. So having those few guys that you referenced with Bryant and, of course, Patrick Collier and Abels being there, offering some continuity to the coaching staff, I'd imagine that'd been a good buffer, throughout the transition.
Yeah, it's probably the best mix you could have. So I got some fresh new blood coming in, but then some guys that have been there that know the traditions and the prides of Darlington, and those guys, I can lean on those for those type of things.
And I know that building that staff is such an important step into building your program. But then, you got to meet the kids and assess what's going on there. So tell us about your introduction to the players that you inherited.
Well, we got a small group. We got a 50-man roster, which is new for me. Coming from coaching in 6 and 7A football, we had 80-plus man rosters, and we basically had guys that two platoon, and had a lot of guys that played both ways. So that's been a new transition. Developing the perfect practice plan for Darlington, where the kids can maximize the reps to play both sides of the ball, and to be able to cover all your special teams and to be solid there. But yeah, it's been a great transition.
Well, let's talk a little bit about summer workouts. Of course, spring to summer and everything that you've been doing to prepare for the season. What are some of the areas that you feel like have really shined as you get ready for the season?
Well, so we started summer the second week of June. There's 2 dead weeks in Georgia high school football. You get the first week of June off, and then you have the first week of July 4th, and that's state mandated. So we had a great summer. We went 4 days a week all summer long. So we got over 32 practices during the summer, where the kids are showing up at 8:30, which is 8:15. We call Tiger time. Be 15 minutes early everywhere you go. So those kids are showing up. We had great attendance. I'd say there wasn't maybe 2 or 3 days that we didn't have all the kids there. And if they were, then if they weren't there, then we knew exactly where they were. Those kids. We have kids that play multiple sports, and so I want to be able to go play baseball, travel baseball on the weekends. I want to be able to go to a wrestling camp. I think that's huge to not focus in on one sport, especially at the high school level, and especially at a single A level. So to have those kids that dedicated to the summer to make over 32 workouts, bringing them in at 8:30 in the morning, We immediately dynamic warm up. We get about 45 minutes of strength and conditioning. We meet 15 minutes offense, defense. All our practices are filmed via drone. And so we review those practices. We go over practice plan. We go over install plan for anything new we're putting in that day. And then we go outside. And we do 15 minutes of grass agilities. And then we end up practicing for about an hour and a half, about an hour and 45 in helmets. And that's full-on Indy. That's, running inside drill, controlled. It's 7-on-7s. And that's team drills and special teams drills. So kids did a great job. So we feel like we definitely improved them. And so we're ready to see kind of where we're at going into the season.
Well, speaking about seeing where you're at, coming up this weekend, Friday, just a couple of days away, Friday Night Lights at Chris Hunter Stadium. Going to open up the season with Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors, the first regular season opponent. And I know that that's just super exciting as we get ready for that. It seems like to me that every year the high school football season gets here a little bit quicker.
It does.
But, man, it's here and about ready to go. And I would imagine when you walked outside this morning and felt the way the temperatures felt today, I sure wish it could be like that on Friday evenings, huh?
That's right. We actually had some wet bulb and heat issues on Monday, and we had to wait a little bit and do some stuff indoors before we could go out around 5:30. So that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, we got to make the adjustments. And so we had a great practice Tuesday, full practice, and obviously we had a great practice today. And so we'll have a Thursday morning kind of run through tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. We're gonna practice in the mornings on Thursdays so we can watch some film and let some players get some ice baths tomorrow afternoon and hopefully get them off their feet and get them home and in the bed early so we can be ready for Friday.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about Christian Academy of Knoxville. For us radio guys and everything preparing for the games, it's a little bit difficult to find a lot of information. We kind of know the places to go for the teams around here and all that sorts of stuff like that. But tell us a little bit about this team, what you expect from them on offense, defense, and special teams.
Well, Christian Academy of Knoxville they're a small school, single A school, very comparable to us in Tennessee. They've had a lot of success. They've won a couple of state championships. I think they won one, or I think 2011, maybe 2014. They won one. So they're a proud program. So they're going to come to Chris Hunter Stadium on Friday. I was able to. They haven't played a game yet, but they had some scrimmages and some other things, and I was able to talk to some people and maybe scrounge up a little bit of film on them to kind of get an idea. One of the things about these opening games is you never have a lot of film on them to kind of know exactly where they are, so you can't be really specific on your game plan. You got to be a little bit broad. But what I expect to see out of Christian Academy in Knoxville is they've got a good quarterback. His name's Aiden Stout. He's a senior. He's been a starter for a couple of years. He's about 6'2", about 185 pounds. What you're going to see formation-wise out of them is they're going to be some 10 personnel with one back. So you're going to see 4 and 5 wide receivers. They do play with a fullback some, so 11 personnel as well. So they'll have a 2-back and 3 receivers out there. They like to throw the ball. I think talking to some guys that they're probably about 65% pass, about 35% run. If you some of the guys that have played them in the past that I talked to, and so they like to throw the ball first. Kind of to open up the run second. So you're going to see that. You're going to see them run inside zone. You're going to see them run some gut counter. You're going to see them throw screens. You're going to see them throw quick game and deep game. Good running back, Jay Duncan, number 37. They got a big, bright guard, number 54. His last name is Delp, and so he's about 6'3", about 330 pounds. So, and then they've got a couple of tall receivers. They got 6'1", 6'3" receivers on the outside. So it'll be a good challenge for us. As far as stopping them on offense. Defensively, they base out of a 3-4 defense. They're going to slant, move, and blitz, and they're going to play cover 2 and cover 3 and cover 4 and cover 0 behind it, depending on what their call is. But again, it's a general plan for this week, and so hopefully we're going to be good at making some in-game adjustments as the game goes on. But we feel like we're ready for the initial game plan.
Well, Darlington fans who followed the team closely know that you've got some weapons in your arsenal as well that are coming back. You've got some guys who've contributed a lot over the last few years. What can we expect? What names can we expect to be called a lot on Friday night?
Well, to start with, our all-region running back, Demarion Floyd.
D-man.
Yeah, D-man. good ball player. He's gonna start at running back. And he's gonna play corner. Some of our top receivers. You have Talon Shirey out there, who's really impressed me. If Talon was probably 4 inches taller, he'd probably have 10 D1 offers.
No doubt.
But he's a really good high school football player. He's going to play corner and he's going to play receiver. Got some other guys, Aiden Davis, Jake Trebus, and Hendrix Jones that are playing receiver. But it's going to start all up front. Our success is going to start on that offense and defensive line. So we've got some guys that have played some significant snaps up there, and we got some new guys. So you can look at guys like Jack Chandler, who was an all-region player for us last year. Connor Ellison, Ari Levy, Stephen Moore, and those guys we're looking for big things up front.
And I know that one of the things while we're talking about the offensive and defensive line, there were some pretty key players for the team that graduated last year, and I know there's been some shifting around to some guys and things of that nature. So tell us a little bit about some guys that have had to transition to different positions and things of that sort as you get ready for the season.
Well, two guys that I'm really proud of, and it just shows their dedication to the team and leadership is one is McKay Rush. McKay played some fullback and some receiver last year, and he volunteered to go play offensive line for us. Sam Twinney, who will also start at linebacker, is playing left tackle for us. And so those guys are going to get their money's worth on Friday night, but they're invaluable on the field. And so with them stepping up, it's really made our football team better in those spots.
And I'm glad you said that, because that is exactly why I brought that up, because when I heard about guys making that transition, being willing to do that, I think that says a lot about their character. Just say, hey, coach, put me where you need me most to help the team win football games. So I think that's really awesome. Yep. But anyway, anything else you'd like to ask, man?
We're ready for some football. I can't wait to see this. Excited to see the Coach Groves era begin on Friday night. I know you've got to be pumped.
Oh yeah. They say it ain't nothing like being a Tiger on Friday night, and I'm ready to see it. So.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. This has been a pleasure having you here for the inaugural edition of your show, the Coach Grove Show, here on WLAQ, on the Facebook live stream and YouTube stream, where we talk all things Darlington football here for a half an hour on Wednesday, starting at 7 o'clock. And you can hear the audio of this conversation again on the pregame show for Darlington football. We get started at 6:45 p.m. on Friday nights with the Coach Grove Show, and then we'll join you live from Chris Hunter Stadium the first couple of weeks of the season, and then everywhere on the road, of course, throughout the season as well, to bring you more Darlington Tigers football this year, which we're super excited about. And I really appreciate you making the time for us, man. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Yes, thank you. This is going to be first class, and it's going to be a great deal every Wednesday for the fans and everybody that's interested in Darlington football.
All right. Well, we are going to start to wind things down here on the program. We appreciate everybody for tuning in to the inaugural edition of the Coach Grove Show. We apologize for the couple of little technical glitches we had in the beginning of the show. Like I said, it didn't go when I said go. I don't know what happened there, but we got Coach to give it a firm talking to, and then we got going. But anyway, we appreciate you being here, and we're going to wrap things up. And again, tune in next week for another edition of the Coach Wayne Grove Show here on WLAQ. Take care, everybody. Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you guys.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Coach Groves Show. We invite you to join us again next week as we discuss all things Darlington football with head coach Wayne Groves. Go Tigers.
AM or online at WLAQ1410.com, or you may be viewing on the Darlington School YouTube channel. A lot of ways that you can watch the coverage and listen to the coverage of Darlington football. And Ian, can you believe it? The high school football season is already here.
It snuck up on us, Matt. Usually we are just just waiting and begging for it to arrive, and this year it came in a hurry. But I couldn't be happier and wouldn't want to be anywhere else than Chris Hunter Stadium tonight.
Well, as you heard Coach Grove say at the end of his brand new show, which we launched earlier this week on our YouTube channel at WLAQ and also Facebook Live, ain't nothing like a Tiger on a Friday night, and it's good to get this back again. It's August the 18th, 2023, and it's time to talk about the matchup that we've got for you a little bit tonight. You got the Darlington Tigers opening up at home against the Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors. So they had a pretty good drive to come up here today, and I would assume, Ian, that's one of the reasons that the game time was pushed up to 7 o'clock instead of the typical 7:30. And I was thinking about this earlier today. I'm not sure if we've ever called a game that started as early as 7 o'clock over here at the Lakeside.
It's a first.
Yeah.
And it caught us all off guard, but that's all right. We're ready for football. I don't care what time they kick off. We would have been here an hour early.
No question about it. So let's go over our high school football coverage for you for the afternoon. Of course, if you tuned into WLAQ earlier today, you had the opportunity to tune in at 5:30 for This Week in Northwest Georgia football, followed by the Coach Grove Show. And now it's our Tiger Tailgate Show here on WLAQ. We'll have toe meeting leather with the Darlington Tigers at 7:30. And then after tonight's action, stay tuned for the awarding of the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game. And then after that, of course, we'll have the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show, which is going to be riding again tonight with Lynn Butler and Austin Butler. And we're looking forward to them being back in the studio coming up again tonight. And you're getting the full treatment tonight in terms of high school football coverage.
Right. 6 hours of nonstop high school football coverage on WLAQ. That started just a little while ago. You got to hear me and Matt probably make all the wrong picks. But that's okay. Hopefully I get the ones right that you get wrong and take a lead in that little contest. Followed up by the Coach Grove Show, which we had a lot of fun doing on Wednesday. And we get to see all the hard work that these kids have put in during the spring and summer workouts tonight as they take the field to take on the Warriors of Christian Academy of Knoxville. And this is a team, Matt, that's coming off of a 2-8 season last year after making the playoffs for a long time, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is a team that's got a pride program. Very proud programs. What I'm trying to say there, we're trying to make some adjustments on the fly. I understand there's some audio issues on the video, so apologize for that. We're trying to work on that and do the commentary at the same time, so we'll hope we get that resolved here in just a moment. But I tell you what, let's take a break and see if we can get that fixed, and then we'll come back and we'll continue our commentary. But you're listening to live coverage on WLAQ and also the Darlington YouTube channel of Darlington football. Darlington and the Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors coming up in just a little bit. Kickoff is at 7, so we're about 12 minutes away from that. And we'll take a break, and we'll be back in just moments here on WLAQ. Let's take a 3-minute timeout, please.
As Darlington's official healthcare partner and history of healing reaches students from the time they step on campus until the stadium. Our pediatricians, nurses, athletic trainers, and first responders are okay? Every day, making sure students are healthy and safe. That fulfills our
I can't hear the break, but
hope and advance healing.
1 2 1 2. Check, 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 check. Ladies and gentlemen, up, 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 up. We're going up.
Check, check,
We're
check,
going
check,
up,
check,
ladies
check,
and
check,
gentlemen.
check, check.
We're going to turn it up. We're going to turn it up loud. It's going to be loud.
Check, check, check.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check. Okay. On the master. Check 1 2.
Check, check, check.
Check, check, check. That's
Okay.
good?
Perfect.
Okay. Are we good?
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We are on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're then guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
To begin. We got about 8.5 minutes left on the clock before we get things rolling here on Jerry Sharp Field. Darlington Tigers hosting tonight the Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors. Once we start the game, we're going to probably not say Christian Academy of Knoxville a whole lot, Ian, as you were talking about earlier, and just stick with the Warriors. It kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit easier, huh?
That's a mouthful. You know, it's the first game of the season. We have to cut ourselves a little slack.
Exactly. Well, let's talk a little bit about the matchup. As we were talking about earlier, the Darlington Tigers last year had a phenomenal season, 11-1. They reeled off 11 wins to start the season, then went 6-0, of course, in region play as well, made it to the second round of the playoffs. Meanwhile, Christian Academy of Knoxville, as you referenced earlier, went 2-8. They were 0-6 in their region play, and then they changed coaches. So they got a brand new coach this year, and his name is Chad Speck. It's his first year. He was their wide receivers coach for the previous 2 seasons, has 19 years of experience in sports business, and also as an attorney I was reading about in a newspaper article earlier, and as a founding partner of Allegiant Athletic Agency, which, if you don't know what that is, I didn't know what it is, but it's a local sports management firm, and he's also a certified contract advisor with NFL Players Association. So he's got a lot of involvement in sports in a lot of different areas.
So he can argue with the refs, and he can also maybe get an NIL deal for his kids eventually here at the high school level.
Help them at every level,
right.
apparently.
Okay.
Meanwhile, brand new coach here at Darlington School, and that has not happened in a long time. As we talk about a lot on some of our football programs, Tommy Atha was the head coach of the Darlington Tigers for 21 seasons, and now we usher in the Wayne Groves era. This is his first season as a head coach. He's the former defensive coordinator for John Reed for his entire time at Rome up until this season. 3 times during that tenure, Ian, and I know you saw a lot of these games.
Absolutely.
Groves led the #1 defense in the state. They won a couple of state titles. The man knows football.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a heck of a motivator, too. One of the things I thought was interesting, as soon as he took the job, it's like I'm taking over the speed and conditioning program. I'm installing my system. And we learned the other day that's what he majored in college, and he's always done that at every stop. He's had his hands on that strength and conditioning program. Well, that's where you put the work in to get ready for the season in the spring and in these hot summer months. He's been out there getting these boys ready to play, and now we get to see how that translates to their performance on the field.
Now, earlier in our first segment, Ian, we were talking about how the Warriors have a very, very proud program, and we mentioned also they went 2-8 last season, but that was after 17 consecutive seasons of making it to the playoffs. During that run, they got 2 state championship titles in 2011 and 2012. So they built a reputation, much like you see here at Darlington, for being, a team that's very typical to make deep runs in the playoffs. So these teams, in some respects, mirror each other, even though the Christian Academy of Knoxville is still a fairly new school when you compare it to Darlington and the history that is here.
Yeah, but when you have a winning tradition, that's the expectation that you have from your players, your coaching staff, and your fans. So these guys are going to come into Chris Hunter Stadium expecting to walk away with a win. Darlington's going to have to bring their A game.
No question about it. Now, I do want to mention there are a bunch of other games that are taking place around the area. Got a couple of scores from yesterday. I hope everybody saw the end of that Cedartown-Rockmart game because it was phenomenal. But Cedartown came away with a win there, 13-12 over Rockmart. Rockmart missed a fairly long field goal at the end of the game, had an opportunity to win, couldn't punch it in and win that ball game. But that's what you want to see from a rival game, 13-12 and a big crowd and a great atmosphere.
Right. Cedartown's defense was the hallmark of that team that made a run to a state championship game, came up just short, and they played great defense last night. I was impressed by Rockmart and the effort that they put in on the road, almost coming away with the upset. But what a way to start the season with two bitter rivals clashing and it being a one-point game.
No question about it. Meanwhile, up in Tunnel Hill and up in the Dalton area, Northwest Whitfield really had their way with the Pepperell Dragons. 38-0 was the final score in that one. That was a lot like last year's game between those two teams.
Yeah. The Bruins were just too much for the Dragons, and the Dragons have a lot of young players right now. They're going to figure themselves out, though. We've seen that from Coach Hurst's team over the past few years. Been a little slow out of the gate, but they're playing up, 2 classifications. So they may take their lumps early. By the time region play comes around, I imagine Pepperell will be ready to roll.
I happen to agree with you on that one. Well, I tell you what, Ian, we're going to take another break here on our pregame. We'll take a 3-minute break down the line, and then we'll come back. And guess what, folks? It's almost game time. We're starting early today. We're getting started with a 7 o'clock kickoff here from Darlington School. A 3-minute break, Darlington Tigers, and the Christian Academy Knoxville Warriors coming up after these messages. We'll be back. All right, we join you back live here at the Lakeside. We're at Chris Hunter Stadium. We're about to have kickoff. We'll go ahead and give you the captains for tonight's game for your Darlington Tigers. You had Talon Shirey, Demarion Floyd, also Jack Chandler and Colby Pate, I believe was the other one. And then for the Warriors here from Knoxville tonight, Christian Academy of Knoxville, you had Christopher Cook, Aiden Trout, also Austin Delp and Mason Peterson. And we're glad that you are with us, and I apologize for the little technical difficulty that we had at the station. Lynn just sent me a text asking me what happened. We are logged into his computer here. This is Talking Shop, and it accidentally got minimized what he was working on, so I can see where that would cause an issue. So apologize for that, Lynn, but I think we should be okay now. Just working out some of these first game types of issues. Everybody's trying to get on the same page with the radio station and the video feed, and it can be a little bit of a juggling act at some point. But I think we're okay now. We're ready for some football here from Darlington School. And again, the Darlington Tigers opening up here at home tonight. And so this is going to be the first opportunity that we've had this year to get a look at this Darlington Tigers team. And Ian, of course, the Warriors ended up winning the toss. They've deferred to the second half, so we're going to see the Darlington Tigers offense on the field first.
I know, and Matt, we've gotten so used to what this offense has looked like the last few years. It's a completely new system. So we've had our conversations with Coach Groves, but until you see that product on the field, you don't know what to expect. So it's exciting to see how they're going to come out and execute on offense to start this season.
Shepard Gaston has the ball teed up, and we're about to get this high school football season at Darlington underway. Back deep here for the Darlington Tigers, Talon Shirey. They've got it teed up, and ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get to say some words that we've been longing to say for a long time. The time is almost here, and the young man that we just referenced, Gaston, takes his steps back. He's standing at the 30, about to kick it away from the 40-yard line, runs up to the ball, toe meets leather. The Darlington Tigers are playing football. That sails into the end zone. That's going to be an automatic touchback, and so the Tigers will set up shop at the 20-yard line.
And a good end-over-end kick there. Shire didn't have a choice but to take a knee, and Darlington will come out and start their first possession. And they'll have to go 80 yards if they're going to get to pay dirt. You ready, Matt?
I am ready, man. I'm fired up. As a matter of fact, my heart rate just went up a ton, and I'm going to have to calm it back down so we can call this game, man. Goosebumps at this moment. The high school football season's underway.
And it is Sammy Konchesky who's running out to command this offense.
Indeed it is. So he'll line them up. They're going to spread things out, going to send a wide receiver far to the right side. Going to line one up in the slot on that far side, one on the near side. Konchesky's going to have an empty backfield. Everybody else is in tight except for those three wide receivers. Man motions. That's going to be Demarion Floyd. They're going to flip the ball to him, and he gets hit immediately. So the first play is going to be a loss here for the Darlington Tigers, Ian.
Yeah, Shepard Gaston absolutely blew that play up. Demarion Floyd came in motion. It was just a little jet sweep play, and they lost 5 yards on that carry.
Indeed they did. So that's going to bring up second down and 15 yards to go for the Tigers. Shotgun formation this time. Demarion lines up flank to the right of the quarterback, splits out to the near side. Turning and firing is going to be Konchesky. Finds a receiver in space. He's going to hit Talon Shirey. Stays up, gets all the way down to about the 29-yard line. So they picked up a ton of yards there, and they got close to the first down. That was a good play, a screen.
Just a nice little screen pass there to Shirey, who has a lot of wiggle, and he made some guys miss, gained back that yardage, and set up a third and manageable, third and a long one, maybe 2 yards here.
So a 14-yard pass play there on the screen, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 1, as you just referenced. Now the ball is going to be at the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation, flag comes in, procedural penalty.
Let's see what the call is here. I think it's on the other squad here. Maybe it's going the other way. Let's see. No, legal shift. Or substitution infraction. Okay. That's the first penalty, and a costly one. Goes from 3rd and a long one to a 3rd and 6.
11:08 remaining in the ball game. Tigers and Warriors tonight for you on the radio, and also the Darlington YouTube stream. A couple of wide receivers to the near side this time. Otherwise, Demarion Floyd's in the backfield. Everybody else is in tight at the line of scrimmage for the Tigers, working right to left, and they're going to blow that one dead.
And Coach
timeout.
And I could see the emotion on Coach Grove's face there, having to burn the timeout early.
All right, well, we're going to burn one as well. 11:08 left to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless. First drive of the game for Darlington. 3rd and 6 coming up in 30 seconds. We'll be back. Stadium. The Tigers come back to the line, and now the Warriors will trot back out on the field. This is 3rd and 6, and the ball is at the 24-yard line as the Darlington Tigers get ready to snap it. Sammy Konchesky, quarterback for the Tigers this year, starting in his junior year. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. There goes Demarion Floyd. They're going to throw a screen to him here on the near side. Cuts inside. Nice move from Demarion Floyd. He's got the wheels turning, and he spins around at about the 35-yard line. First down, Darlington Tigers.
Just a little swing pass there to D-Man Floyd, who does what he does and makes people miss in space. A huge first down there for the Tigers on 3rd down.
So they got in a little bit of trouble on that drive, but they were able to get out it and move the chain. So let's see if they can build some momentum here, Ian. Tigers back to the line of scrimmage. Empty backfield here for Sammy Konchesky. 2 wide to the far side, 1 on the near side. Tigers on the move. There's the snap. Konchesky's going to run it. That's one of the things that Coach Groves really likes about this young man is his ability to move his feet. And that was a good run. He picked up about 7 or 8 yards.
That's staying ahead of schedule on first down, picking up 7 yards. And a very decisive run there by Konchesky.
So that brings up 2nd and 3rd for the Tigers. This time they're going to line up at the 42-yard line, threatening to move the ball into Warriors territory. So let's see if they can keep this rhythm going here. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Going to have Demarion Floyd in the backfield. There's the snap, pulls it down, hands it off to Demarion, cuts off to the near side, shakes off a couple of guys and gets across the 50 and down to about the 47-yard line. Did a flag come in?
Yes, it did. I think we're going to have a procedure penalty that's going to bring this one back. We'll see. Yep. And it's it's first game of the season, and this kind of stuff happens. You get out there and you're firing live rounds, and it's a little bit different than practice. So you can expect to have some of these procedure penalties, just a little bit of rust. Everybody's shaking off here in the first week.
Well, I know it's pretty hot tonight. It's about 85 degrees, but it's not as bad as it has been.
Oh, wow.
And we've had some fall-like mornings this week. It really made you start to think, hey, it's football season.
Yeah, the break in humidity came at the right time.
So the Tigers go back to the line of scrimmage with 2nd down and 8 with the ball now at the 37-yard line. Sammy Konchesky's going to line up with Demarion Floyd to his right, and a 4-wide set this time, 2 on each side of the formation. And Sammy takes the snap, pulls it down, hands it right off to Demarion Floyd, cuts out to the right side. He's got some room, stays up. He's across midfield, cuts back inside. He's going to be brought down at the 40-yard line. A massive run, a big play for the Tigers, Ian.
I tell you what, on his first carry, they got him before he could get those jets going. But his last 2, he's been able to bounce and wiggle and cut, and he's looking like the D-man we're used to seeing out there.
That sounds like the name of a song, man. Bounce, wiggle, and cut. Here we go. All the kids are dancing to it. We're already having a good time, man. It's back. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far. Floyd in the backfield with Konchesky. There's the snap. Pulls. No, he's going to hand it off. It looked like for a second there he's going to pull it. And there goes Demarion Floyd off to the right side, picks up another first down. That was a great play.
I want the little telestrator where you can circle and watch all the ways he bounced. He probably made 4 cuts before he went back in the other direction and picked up yet another first down, the 3rd of this drive for the Tigers.
First drive of the ball game, 9:15 left to go here in the first quarter of the ball game, so nobody has scored yet. Konchesky lines them up in a shotgun. We're going to have 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far side. There's the snap to Konchesky. Hands it off to Demarion. No, that's not Demarion Floyd. That's Miles Twyman. Cuts off to the near side. He's heading towards the 10-yard line. They bring him down at about the 11. Big run for Miles.
Surprised we didn't get a horse collar there, too, because he definitely got pulled down. It might not have been by the neck, but the back of the jersey. But, yeah, Miles Twyman's first carry is a good one, and Darlington is in business. A 4th first down. They're going with a little tempo here on offense, getting up to the line quick.
8:49 left to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 now, the ball in the red zone. Ball just shy of the 10-yard line, so the Tigers get ready to line up. It looks like Miles is going to stay in the backfield here with Sammy. Going to send 3 wide receivers to the far side on the right and 1 on the near side. And we get ready for Konchesky to take the snap. He's got the ball in his hands, turns, fakes the handoff. It is going to be a reverse. They're running towards the end zone. Talon Shirey, first touchdown of the season, 11 yards to pay dirt. Here we go, Ian. Tigers football.
A little trick play to cap off the first scoring drive of the Wayne Groves era, and Talon Shirey, a guy who has made a lot of big plays here for the Darlington Tigers, starts his season off with a bang, and so do the Tigers as a whole, driving 80 yards for the touchdown to take the early lead.
The season is off to a good start here in the first quarter. The Tigers score on their first drive, gotten a little bit of trouble with a penalty and also a tackle for a loss at the beginning of the drive, and really recovered and got some momentum and were able to score. Here comes the extra point attempt from Hendricks Jones on the way, and that is going to be through, just got it over the upright. So there, the score is 7-0.
And what a way to start the season. An 11-yard touchdown run by Talon Shirey on a reverse there. They did the play action to Miles Twyman, who had just had a nice 14-yard, or about a 20-yard run actually on the play before, and it was nothing but open space for Shirey, who had a great reception early on a screen to get them back from behind the chains on that run play you were speaking of that they lost 5 yards. So Darlington overcame some adversity there. They had the tackle for loss on the first play from scrimmage. They had 2 penalties that put them back in third and long situations. They were able to overcome all of that, went tempo once they got past the 50-yard line, and really executed that drive cleanly.
No question about it. And one of the things we pointed out in the pregame and also in our conversation with Coach Groves is that you only have one starter back on the offensive line for this football team. So they've got a lot of guys that have some snaps, but they haven't been in the starting role at the beginning of the season, and they look great there on that first drive. So that's a good thing for the Tigers for sure.
Yeah, Konchesky was 2 for 2 for 26 yards. He also had a 7-yard run on that drive, so they mixed it up. A lot of different Tigers touched the ball. You had D-Man making plays, Miles Twyman and Shirey getting in on the action.
So now we're going to get a look at this Warriors offense as the Tigers get ready to kick it away. Hendricks Jones handling the kicking duties tonight for the Tigers. And they'll get ready to run to the ball and kick it back to a man who's deep here, J.C. Blevins for the Warriors. Here comes the kick. It's going to be a line drive that goes up the middle, and it's going to be downed at about the 26-yard line. So pretty decent field position here, but they didn't have an opportunity for a return on that low kick.
And that was just a driving squib kick there. Had no choice but to just fall on it. And, you know, the 26-yard line's not terrible field position, but there was no opportunity to make a big play in the return game. So now we get to see this Darlington defense take the field. It's going to be a 3-4 attack that Wayne Groves brings over. Again, you've talked about his pedigree and his success everywhere he's been.
Valdosta, Rome, of course, we mentioned the championships there under Coach Reed, so he's been around some really, really successful programs. The quarterback here for the Warriors is about 6'2", 185 pounds. His name is Aiden Trout, and he likes to throw the ball. There's the snap. They're going to run it just as I say that, run it off to the far side. They try to get to the edge. There's some speed on that man right there, number 22 with the carry, Lincoln Rich, and he picks up a big chunk of yards. He probably got about 6 or 7 yards on that first play.
A little counter play out there, and Rich was able to bounce it to the outside and pick up about 8 yards, 8.5 yards, setting up second and short.
So they'll go back to the line of scrimmage in a shotgun formation, 3 wide set to the near side, 1 on the far side, 2nd down and 2. There's the snap, going to turn, throw a screen pass to the near side. He cuts inside, and they're going to gang tackle him. Initial hit, couldn't bring him down. 3 guys came in and helped him out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a group gang tackle, as you said, and it was finished off by Jack Chandler laying the boom, and that brings up 3rd down. And what? They lost a few yards on that, didn't they? Set them back a few. So 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, I think so. 7:24 left to go here in the first quarter. Darlington leads at 7-0 after scoring on the first drive of the game. Shotgun formation, 2 wide set on the far side, 1 on the near side here for the Warriors. As we get ready for Aiden Trout to take another snap here. In the backfield with him again is going to be Lincoln Rich. Man splits wide out to the near side. He'll turn, look that way, puts the ball in the air, connects with his wide receiver, who's Ward Sturchie, and he's going to go out of bounds after picking up the 1st down.
And Sturchie came in motion there. That was a well-designed play, just a quick out, went to the marker, made his cut, ball was on time, and that's a 1st down for the Warriors.
So the chains move for the Warriors. They're going to line up now at the 43-yard line, threatening to move it into Tiger territory with a fresh set of downs. Two wide receivers on the far side, one on the near. Man motions off to the left side of the formation. There's a snap. He's going to hand it off, go up the middle, and the lane is clogged very quickly, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. Great defense there. And guess what? That was Henry Ledbetter. That's how I was told to say it. So nice tackle, young man, for no gain. Actually, I lost 2.
Lincoln Rich, the ball carrier there, and that brings up 2nd down and 9 with the ball on the 44-yard line. So the Tigers will try to pin their ears back here and get a stop. Trout in the shotgun formation, 3-wide set, takes the snap a little bit high, pulls it down, gives it back to Rich, and they meet him immediately and bring him back. So I think this is going to be no gain here.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Chandler is a wrecking ball there in the middle of that defensive line. And I tell you what, there's a lot of fresh faces out there, but I think they learned from their predecessors. They're playing some great defense, very, very solid up the middle and putting the Warriors in a 3rd down and long situation.
So 3rd and 8, ball is at the 45-yard line, the nose of the football right on the line. 3 wide to the far side, 1 to the near. And we get ready for Trout to take the snap. He's dropping back, 2-step drop, puts it in the air and connects with the wide receiver. That's a 1st down. Nice grab, nice low grab there by Alexander Glass, and a good throw that was right on the money from their quarterback, Trout.
Yeah, so far you've seen Trout chuck that ball twice. Both have been timing patterns. He's just hit a 3-step drop and fired. That ball was a little low, but certainly should have been called and was for another 1st down, and the Warriors keep the drive alive.
Indeed. So the 2nd 1st down here for the Warriors. They're going to line up shotgun formation, 2 wide to the near, 1 on the far side. We get ready for Trout to take the snap. He'll turn, fire it to the near side, out to the flat, gets it to a receiver. He's got some space. He's inside the 30 and down to the 26 before they bring him down. That was Alexander Glass again, Ian.
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the drive so far for Trout. And again, he's getting the ball out of his hands quickly, not giving this Darlington defense much time to put any pressure on. And right now, Darlington's DBs are playing back and giving these receivers space. That won't continue if they keep having success.
3 wide set. We get ready for Trout to take the snap here on 1st and 10 with the ball at the 30 there. They're going to throw, and he cuts inside, gets hit pretty hard around the 15-yard line, but they're in the red zone.
And we talked to Coach Groves, another 1st down there, the 3rd of the drive for the Warriors. But he said these guys like to throw it around the yard. They throw it about 75% of the time. So
not very often in a single-A football situation do you see that,
right.
A team that throws for that high percentage like that. 4:48 left to go in the 1st quarter. Darlington leads the ball game 7-0, but right now the Warriors threatening. They're going to line up in shotgun formation with a 3-wide set. Trout takes the snap, turns, is going to fire towards the far side and connects with a receiver who breaks a tackle and steps into the end zone, untouched, Christopher Cook, and that's the first score of the ball game for the Warriors.
And an impressive drive there. They had to convert 2 third downs, but after that, 3 straight completions on 1st down and a touchdown for the Warriors. And if the PAT goes through, I don't know if they're going to kick it. It looks like they're going to line up and go for 2.
I think you're right, man. They got the quarterback still on the field. One of his favorite running backs to hand the ball to, Lincoln Rich, is in the backfield with him. Let's see what they dial up here for a 2-point conversion. With the score at 7-6, they're going to try to take the lead here. So again, Trout is lining up, and they're going to call a timeout. Looks like the Tigers called the timeout.
Coach Groves wants to make sure they're in the right package.
All right. Well, let's take a quick one. We're going to send it back to the studio for a 30-second timeout. We'll be right back.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-.
We welcome you back to live coverage of Darlington School football here on WLAQ and also the Darlington YouTube stream. 4:29 left to go in the ball game. A 15-yard pass to Chris Cook, and the Warriors have scored, and the score currently 7-6. It looked like the Warriors were going to go for 2 and try to take the lead. Coach Groves called a timeout, and so we'll see what happens as they come back out on the field.
Yeah, I don't know what their kicking situation is, or if that's just normal that they go out there and play the percentages and go for two every time they score. We'll find out. But it looks like they're going to trot the offense back on the field. On that drive, Aiden Trout was 5 for 5. I think for well over 50 yards on that drive, and he had the 15-yard touchdown to Christopher Cook. Kind of reminds me of the fun and gun type offense. All timing patterns, getting the ball out quick.
And they're executing at a high level for sure. So they'll line up. They're going to go for two. Trout lines them up. Rich in the backfield. Here comes the snap. They're going to turn, hand it off, and he's going to be brought down, and he's going to be short. So Darlington's going to maintain the lead at 7-6. A good stop there by the defense.
And a good timeout spent by Coach Groves. He didn't like something. He called timeout. He got his guys together, and they stopped the conversion and will keep the lead at 7-6. And who knows, Matt? Games change on the fly. It's a quarter-by-quarter, possession-by-possession type thing, but we might have a shootout on our hands.
You never know, man. And, of course, I know coaches take it game by game, and they tell you when they're in this situation to take it play by play. And, that's a win there for the Tigers to get that stop and keep the lead. So let's see if they can build on that.
Absolutely. And right now, neither defense has been able to get off the field on third down. That's certainly something to watch. The Tigers had them in a few third down situations, 1 third long, but the Warriors were able to keep their drive going. And now Darlington will get the ball back, and we'll see if they can build on the success of their first drive, in which they spread the ball around as well. Both offenses looking sharp so far.
Definitely. This is going to be a fun one, no doubt about it. We're glad to have you with us here on WLAQ. We got 4:29 left to go. Here in the first quarter of the ball game, Darlington with a lead, 7-6 is the score. And we're about to get a look at that offense for a second time. And as you mentioned earlier, Ian, Demarion Floyd touched the ball, Talon Shirey, Miles Twyman. So you had a few guys getting involved in the offense. And I would imagine the plan is to keep those guys involved and add to it as the ball game goes along. So it'll be interesting to see how many guys get touches in this ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. See how Coach Groves gets them involved.
All right, folks. Well, the ball is teed up. To kick it away is going to be number 20, as he did before, Shepard Gaston. The ball is in the air. Nice end-over-end kick that sails out of the back of the end zone, an automatic touchback. We've seen that a couple of times in this game already.
Yeah, and hey, Talon Shirey is a weapon. I would not kick it to that young man. We watched a lot of teams make that mistake last year, and I'm sure we'll see some make that mistake this year. But when you have a kicker who can put it through the back of the end zone, that's where that ball should travel.
No doubt about it. So the Tigers get ready to line up for the second time at the 20-yard line, their own 20-yard line here in the ball game.
It's a whiteout tonight. The students are out, Matt. They're wearing Nirvana shirts and Sublime shirts. Do you think the 40-somethings when we were in high school, you say, these kids wearing their Zeppelin and Beatles shirts?
I know. It's kind of interesting when you get to the point. It means you're getting old, though, is the thing. Older, however you want to term it. Kajeski lines him up. It's a 3-wide set. He's going to turn, hand it off, gives it to Twyman, and he stays up, shakes a couple of tackles, but eventually he's going to be brought down for a loss. So that play was kind of blown up at the start there, Ian.
And that's the second straight drive where the Warriors' defense has blown up the run play on first down. And that time Twyman was fighting hard, but he ended up losing extra yardage trying to get away. He did secure the ball, but 2nd and 20 here for the Tigers offense here, backed up inside their own 10-yard line.
So the Tigers will line up. Got a little bit of a situation to work out of here. Sammy Konchesky with Twyman in the backfield, going to have 3 wide set to the near side, 1 on the far side. Konchesky looking to throw. He is out of the pocket now. He's being chased around, and he's going to go out of bounds close to the line of scrimmage there, Ian, but I think they still lost a yard or two.
Yeah, good job there by Konchesky to string that play out, buy a little time, but he didn't have anybody downfield, and before he could find someone, the pressure was just a little too hot. So I think he actually he came close to getting back to the line of scrimmage. Now you have to dial something up on 3rd and 22. What play do you call here? I would expect a draw or a screen just to get a little room to kick this one away.
We'll see what they dial up. 2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to hand it off. They'll run it up the middle with Miles Twyman. Spins around, and he's going to be brought down. And you were correct, sir.
Just get a little room to punt this one away. Not what Darlington wanted, a 3-and-out there. And they'll kick it back to a Warriors offense that just drove the field. That all started with the loss on first down. Weren't able to dig out of that hole. after that play.
Looks like Talon Showery's going to line up here to punt this ball here for the Darlington Tigers back at around the 50-yard line. Ian's going to be number 7, Chris Cook, who scored the lone touchdown of the game here for the Warriors.
Hey, one of their best athletes is the punter now. We got to know. Best athlete's the punter.
All right. And you can probably hear the coaches next to us signaling to watch out for the fake because Showery's got the ball. There's the kick. It is going to be a spiraling kick that lands at about the 45-yard line, rolls back, and the Tigers are going to touch it. So a good punt there from Showery.
In that situation, a lot of pressure coming his way and, not allowing the return. That's one of those situations where if it gets into Cook's hands, he could do some damage if the coverage team doesn't have time to get down there and make the play. So about as good as you could hope for there to get that ball out and have no return. But great starting field position for the Warriors on their second drive as they will start at the Darlington 46-yard line.
And we've got 2:35 left to go here in the first quarter of the ball game. Darlington leading it, although narrowly, 7-6 is your score. Darlington would score on their first drive of the ball game, and then the Warriors would return the favor, went for 2, missed the 2-point conversion attempt. And that's where our score is right now. There's the snap, going to hand it off. They go to Rich this time. He stays up. A hard run, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets about 13 or 14 yards. There's no way I thought he was going to get that much out of that play.
No, he looked like maybe 2 or 3, and then he was able to just break several tackles and pick up the first down.
So we've seen a heavy dose, at least when they've run the ball, of Lincoln Rich so far in this ball game. They throw it mostly. But when they hand the rock off to somebody, you can bet it's going to be that young man. There's the snap from the shotgun, dropping back, looking to throw, puts it in the air, connects with a receiver. He dropped it. You're right. Christopher Cook, incomplete pass there from Trout, and that sets up 2nd down and 10.
First incompletion of the game for Trout, and again, everything is on. It's on time. I mean, you can watch it. The receivers are making their breaks. The ball's already out of his hands. That time it was a little low and wide, and Cook couldn't wrangle it, setting up a 2nd and 10.
So Aiden Trout runs out there. He's going to have Rich in the backfield with him in a 4 wide receiver set. Gets ready to take the snap on 2nd and 10. Man motions back to the line of scrimmage. Turning and firing is Trout. Hits his man on the left side. Went for Cook again. This time connects and picks up about 7 yards.
And that ball was low as well. Cook did a great job to get his hands under that. It almost looked like it hopped, but he got the gloves under it. Or did they end up? Oh, we've got a man down. Cook is down, injured. And I think that – do we have a penalty?
I didn't see a flag come out.
I didn't either.
But evidently there was. We just didn't catch it.
He did that, or they called it incomplete.
I think
penalty.
I think I heard Bob Berry say over the PA that it was an illegal procedure.
Okay. All right, so that backs him up into 2nd and 15. Big penalty there, the first penalty on the Warriors tonight. Darlington had 2 on their first drive. That backs him up, and Christopher Cook, who caught the touchdown pass, went down and is on the sideline getting checked out.
And he's been a favorite target so far in this game for Trout and the Warriors. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the far side, 1 on the near. Trout getting ready to take the snap on 2nd and 15. He's going to swing it out to the far side, connects with a wide receiver, stays up, and finds some room and gets across the 30 down to about the 28-yard line. Not enough for the first down, but this sets up a 3rd and somewhat manageable. It's going to be long, but...
Yeah, just a little throwback screen there, and Henry Ledbetter almost got his paw on that. He went up high to get it, but a nice throw there by Trout to get it over his extended hands, and then it was number 9, Ward Sturchie, who made the play.
And Christopher Cook's back out on the field, by the way. 3 wide set to the near side, 1 on the far side. That's Cook. Rich is in the backfield here with the quarterback, Aiden Trout.
Big down here for the Darlington defense.
We got another stoppage of play here. 1:42 left to go here in the first quarter of the ball game. Darlington leads at 7-6.
Meeting of the Zebras.
And if you're tuning in and you're like, did he just say 1:42 left to go in the first quarter? Well, we thought the game kicked off at 7:30 today, but about 10 o'clock this morning discovered that it was 7 o'clock. I'm glad we discovered when we did.
I know. That was a fun phone call to get from you this morning, man.
And I went to the website. It was listed correctly. I just took for granted that it's always at 7:30, so that's on me. Man goes in motion, and we get ready for the snap to Trout. He'll turn, looking to throw, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to sail over the head of his favorite target, Cook, and goes out of bounds.
Now it's decision time because you're in no man's land. If they're going for 2 constantly, then they obviously don't have a kicker that's going to knock it in from outside of 40 yards. So you can expect them to go for it pretty much anywhere inside the Darlington 40. And sure enough, Matt, they are going to go for it here on 4th and 5.
Indeed they are. So as you mentioned, 4th and 5 here from the 29-yard line. Pistol formation. We get ready for Trout to take the snap. Man motions out to the right. 3 wide receivers on that side. He's going to turn, fire it to the left to Cook.
Wow.
He's tripped up. Great play. Demarion
D-man.
Floyd got him by the shoestrings and pulled him down immediately, and that's going to be a turnover on down.
Just sound defense there. Darlington needed to come up with a play. They did it on 3rd down. And, you think you're off the field, but then they're going to dial up 4th down on you all day. That's a high-pressure situation, and they threw a really nice – I love the play call there with that screen, the middle screen, and Floyd just made a shoestring tackle and saved the day, and Darlington is able to get a huge stop and bring the offense back on the field.
And they're going to start this time on the 29-yard line. So as far as starting field position for a drive, this is the best the Tigers have had so far. This is their 3rd drive of the game. Here comes the snap. Koncheski pulls it down, hands it off to Miles Twyman, finds a little bit of a seam, and he is able to gash him for about 5 or 6 yards. A positive run for Miles Twyman.
Yeah, absolutely. Miles Twyman just keeps those legs churning. He doesn't give up on the play. I think that's his 4th carry of the game so far. And we're under a minute here in the first quarter, Matt.
Demarion Floyd's going to line up in the backfield. Split to the near side is going to be Aiden Davis, a name that Coach Groves mentioned on his inaugural show this week. There's the snap. He'll turn, hand it off to D-Man Floyd, bulldozes through and gets the first down. That was a hard run there from Demarion.
Well, as he lowered that shoulder, and I saw a white jersey flying in the other direction. They're going to rule him down just shy, or will they measure? They're going to move the chains.
I was about to say, if they don't move the chains, they got to measure that one. But they do move the chains.
And we learned from Coach Groves, part of the head coach's job is to make sure you got a chain gang on Friday nights.
That's right. We asked him what the biggest part of the transition was for him, and that's from his list of things to do, going from about a page to about 4 pages or more. There's the snap. Koncheski's going to pull it down and run the football, find some room. He's out across the 50, stays up. Man, he gets a good block, cuts inside, and is brought down at about the 30-yard line. Look at the legs of Sammy Koncheski and his running ability. My goodness.
And I tell you what, he saw the edge crash on Floyd. He pulled the ball. And you could see it. I mean, it was the perfect read by Koncheski. And then he shows off the footwork. Coach's kid getting it done out there. He's waited his turn to take the reins of this offense patiently. And it's fun to watch him get out there and wheel and deal.
And it looks like, Ian, this is going to wind down the first quarter of play. And the Darlington Tigers are going to lead this thing going into the second quarter by a score of 7-6. So at the end of one, again, Darlington Tigers 7 and the visiting Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors 6. Let's step out for a 1-minute timeout on Darlington YouTube channel and WLAQ.
My name is Ryan Sarville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our 2 founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
All right, we welcome you back to Chris Hunter Stadium, where we get ready to start the second quarter. The Darlington Tigers are going to be in business. It's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball on the 31-yard line after a big run from Sammy Koncheski, his starting quarterback for this year.
And, we've seen some really positive things from this young Tigers group so far in this game.
Oh, no doubt about it. Just very decisive, getting up on the ball. Good reads by the quarterback so far. You've had a couple of negative plays, but they've been able to bounce back from those nicely, and they are on the march once again with a 1-point lead.
Well, let's get started with the second quarter of this football game. The Tigers are going to line up. Konchesky is going to have D-Man Floyd in the backfield with him. 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side. The one on the near is going to be none other than Talon Showery. Man motions. There's the snap. Dropping back. Looking to throw. Puts it in the air. He's open. Connects with a wide receiver. That's Jake Trebus. And it's another positive play for the Tigers. It's going to be a first down.
Yeah, a little late over the middle there, but Trebus is able to haul that in and maintain it. But we're going to be coming back because of a false start. Painful. That was a nice gain. Konchesky was very patient back there, had plenty of time. Good ball on target, but the penalty will negate that.
Indeed it will. So it's going to be 1st and 15 now for the Tigers with the ball on the 36-yard line. But as you've referenced already a couple of times in our broadcast, they've been able to shake things off and move on to the next play well so far in this game. So let's see what they do here. 2 wide receivers on each side. Man in the backfield, that's DeMarion Floyd with Sammy Konchesky. Konchesky puts it in the air. This one's batted down. That was close to being intercepted by the second man who was heading towards it after the deflection. So that was kind of a dangerous situation for the Tigers.
Yeah, Shepard Gasson was the one who got a paw on that. So that little double screen look there. And we'll see what they dial up on 2nd and 15.
Got to have trips to the near side, 1 receiver on the far side. DeMarion Floyd in the backfield with Konchesky. Konchesky getting set to take the snap on 2nd and 15. He's going to swing it to the near side, try to get DeMarion Floyd into space. He does, makes a nice move. He's brought down at about the 28-yard line. So that's going to set up a 3rd and about 8, Ian.
And with the uncertainty at the kicking position here, we saw Hendricks Jones take the extra point. This could be 2-down territory here for the Tigers as well. If they pick up 2 or 3 yards, I imagine they will likely go for it on 4th, but you'd like to go ahead and get that first down.
Absolutely. Ball on the 29-yard line, 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers with 11:05 left to go in the first half of the game. Darlington leading at 7-6 here on the home field, Jerry Sharp Field at Chris Hunter Stadium. We're at the Lakeside tonight. Trips to the far side this time. There's the snap. Konchesky's going to fake the handoff. He's going to pitch it to Showery. He hesitates a moment, then runs out to the near side and gets a couple yards, but I don't think he got enough to get the first down, did he?
No, it's close. It's really close, actually. The chains are on the other side, Matt, so I'm waiting to see where they place the ball.
It's going to be about a...
they're going to move it.
Yeah,
first down. Big conversion there. Darlington now 2 for 3 on 3rd down. That takes a little stress out of that this next play. First down and just outside the red zone.
And it looked like the hesitation from Showery there opened up a little room here on the near side where he needed to be. Here's the snap. Going to turn, hands it off, gives it to DeMarion Floyd, tries to leap over the pile. He's going to be brought down. A nice attempt there. And it's going to be a fairly short gain. He picked up about 3 yards there. Great effort by D-Man.
Oh, absolutely. He tried to hurdle everybody and was met high by one of the linebackers there. But positive yardage on first down, and they are in the red zone. So we'll see if Darlington can take advantage of this opportunity.
2nd down and 6 here for the Tigers. Going to send 2 wide on each side of the formation. DeMarion Floyd in the backfield here with Sammy Konchesky. Here's the snap to Sammy. He's going to drop back, puts a little screen pass in the air to Talon Showery. Nice spin move. He's going to get down to about the 13-yard line before they haul him in. So a little bit of a gain there. But what a great move from Showery there on the spin move.
And so far, we're just seeing the Tigers find different ways to get their playmakers the ball in space. Showery, Floyd, Twyman, they have been the key players so far on offense. Konchesky keeping it at the right time. And we have another big 3rd down, 3rd and 2 upcoming.
So the Tigers run back to the line of scrimmage, going to send a couple of wide to the far side. The one split to the far side is going to be Aiden Davis. Everybody else is going to be in tight. DeMarion Floyd in the backfield here. Wooten in at that sniffer position. High snap. Konchesky handles it well, puts the ball in the air, and that's going to be incomplete. And it looked like one of the defensive players was kind of tugging on the receiver that was in the end zone.
It did. I think that ball was uncatchable. The snap was high. Konchesky just kind of got out and got rid of that one. And I think they're going to go for it here, Matt. It's fourth and a long 2.
Hey, it's train number 2 already, man.
Man, I missed train number 1.
I did too. I guess we were too excited to notice. Here comes the snap here on 4th down as the Tigers are going to go for it. Going to have Demarion Floyd in the backfield here on 4th and 2. Ball on the 13-yard line. Tigers lead at 7-6. There's the snap. Fake handoff. Quarterback's on the run, and he is in the end zone. Another touchdown, a 13-yarder this time. Sammy Konchesky with a great decision there, and the Tigers score again.
And I tell you what, I know Groves wasn't the offensive coordinator at Rome, but that looked a lot like that Knox Kadum keep against Buford, did it not?
It really did.
So that's what was going through my head, and that's what went down. Konchesky does a great job there making the read to keep it and goes untouched into the end zone. 13-yard scamper for Sammy Konchesky, and the Darlington Tigers have jumped out 13-6, PAT pending.
And here's Hendricks Jones for the extra point attempt on the way, and that one is going to be not good. So the score is going to remain 13-6, Ian, with 9:07 left to go in the ball game. In the first half of the ball game, rather.
That's right, but let's not forget that the Tigers got a stop on a 2-point conversion, so they still lead by 7 with 9:07 left in the second quarter. 13-6 here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
Indeed. So we're glad to have you with us here on WLAQ and also the live stream tonight on the Darlington School YouTube channel. And we're just getting started. The Darlington Tigers are going to be at home coming up next week hosting Sonoraville. We went up to their place last year, which was fun because we stopped at Buc-ee's on the way and on the way home. Buc-ee's twice in one day.
And if our listeners don't know, Matt Davis loves Buc-ee's.
And we'll just leave it at that because I know the listeners are tired of hearing about it. I get it.
Send him Buc-ee's Christmas gifts.
But I will say this, interesting coaching matchup coming up this year for that matchup because you've got Wayne Groves in his first year as the head coach for the Darlington Tigers, graduated from Pepperell High School in '99. Meanwhile, for the Sonoraville Phoenix, they've had the same head coach for several years now, but it's Denver Pate, who also graduated from Pepperell. I think he graduated in '98, but those guys played together over at Pepperell High School. So that would be an interesting matchup there between those two guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure they're going to want to beat each other, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A little friendly rivalry.
So we got 9:07 left to go here in the first half of the ball game. Darlington leads at 13-6. Sammy Konchesky with a big run there. 13-yard scamper, as you mentioned, to pay dirt. And the Tigers have had two guys that have scored here in this football game, Talon Shirey and also Sammy Konchesky, the quarterback. And I do want to remind everybody at the end of the game today, we're going to have the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game, the first of the season. And let me tell you, there's already a couple of guys that are making a statement for that award.
You've got four Tigers that are making plays with the ball, but let's not forget about Jack Chandler, who's running the show on the O-line and making some plays in the middle of the defense too. So several guys wanting some cupcakes.
Indeed. Hendricks Jones ready to kick this thing off here for the Tigers. Up the middle of the field is going to be Lincoln Rich. Going to be another squib. This one goes up the middle of the field to Rich. He will field it, bring it out from around the 15. He gets out to about the 26 before the Tigers bring him down to the turf. And that's where they'll set up shop, about the 25-yard line. I think got a little further than that, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah, they got him out closer to the 27. I'd already marked at the 26.
I did too, man.
Geez. Making it difficult on us over here, man.
Darlington Tigers football for you tonight, and it's just a beautiful evening. The weather is nice. It is warm, but it's not as hot as it can be this time of year.
No,
for
it
sure.
does not feel like your typical August evening.
We've been blessed with the weather to get this thing rolling. Of course, we've got, I don't know, about 65 degrees in the press box. Shotgun formation as we get ready for Trout to take the snap. He turns, hands it off. They're going to run it towards the near side with Rich, and he's going to be brought down by a couple of Tigers. Leading the charge there for the Tigers, Ian, was going to be number 20, Timmy Smith, with a hard hit. He looks like he's grown some in the offseason. He's been working hard in the weight room.
A couple of these guys have bulked up big time, but Timmy Smith there and Noah Duggan coming in as well to clean that one up.
That was a nice hit. So we get ready for 2nd down and 5 with the ball at the 31 now as we get ready for Trout to line them up. Working from right to left. By the way, if you're listening on the radio, not watching the video, Knoxville's in their white road uniforms. Got gold helmets, good-looking helmets. And Darlington, boy, look at those uniforms.
I know, they pop.
Purple with white stripes, white helmets, purple tiger paws, and a stripe down the middle. They are beautiful uniforms. Here is man in the backfield. They're going to dump it just in time. A screen is going to go to Rich as the quarterback gets rid of it just as he was about to get pummeled. And they're going to pick up a decent chunk of yards, setting up a 3rd and short.
Really great job there by Aiden Trout just to hang in there. I thought he was going down for the sack, and he found a way to get the ball out and complete, and now they're in 3rd and short.
That was a type of play that you see a senior make, which he is.
I really liked the block-lettered Tigers across the top of the jersey, too. It's just sharp uniform.
3rd down and 1. Trout set to take the snap with Rich in the backfield. He turns, hands it off, and he's going to be dropped immediately. Great play there by the Darlington Tigers on defense. Was that Sammy Konchesky with the stop?
I'll have to check it on the replay
right here. His number's kind of bunched up. No, it was number 9. Credit where credit's due there. Jaron Payne with the stop there for the Darlington Tigers, making a big play.
Yes, indeed. Stuffed it, and the first punt of the game here for the Warriors. Darlington's got a chance to take command of this game before the half if they can put together another scoring drive.
We're going to see Colby Stokely as the punter here for the Warriors. He gets ready to kick it away from around the 20s where he is standing. He takes the snap, gets the ball in the air. It was almost blocked. He might have got a piece of it, and then it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, I think that went out right around the 44-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 43. So the best starting field position by a mile here.
So as you mentioned, the Tigers are going to get it at the 43-yard line with 7:01 left to go in the first half of play. Hard to believe that we're nearing here in just a matter of several minutes the first halftime of the season because we got an early start at 7 o'clock. I hope that the scoreboard show guys, Lynn Butler and Austin, did a little extra prep for this show because it's going to be a long one tonight.
I know we're usually feeling guilty because we haven't gotten it to them yet, but they're getting it early tonight.
1st down and 10. Sammy Konchesky lines him up with great field position. He's going to take the snap, going to follow a lead blocker with Miles Twyman. Good thought, but it didn't work out too well. They're going to take a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, quarterback sweep there, and Konchesky was going to follow his lead out to the left side, and just well defended by this Warrior defense.
So 6:42 left to go here in the first half. That brings up 2nd down and 10. And we'll get ready for a couple of receivers to line up to the near side. One on the far side in the backfield is going to be, is that Miles?
Yes,
yeah,
Miles.
It is. Konchesky drops back, puts some good air under it, heading towards Talon Shire. He can't quite get his arms around it at around the 20-yard line, and that's going to be an incomplete pass.
Shire's not getting up. He's holding, hopefully that's just a cramp.
It certainly is that time of year. But that doesn't.
That ball
good.
That ball was on the money.
Coach Groves is coming out as well as the trainer.
The fact that they're moving the leg like that tells me it's a cramp. I mean, if it was something more serious, they wouldn't be out there just. But that hurts.
Oh man!
You ever woken up in the night with one of those bad boys? Yeah.
If you see me get a cramp, you're gonna take my man card. I'm gonna be screaming.
Well, and we don't mean to laugh while Shirey is on the turf, but we are fairly sure that this is a cramp they're working out down there. So
cramps are no laughing matter.
No, they're not.
No question about it. So we've got a man down on the field working on a cramp right now is trainer Donnie Brown. He's been with the team for a long time, does a fantastic job. And we appreciate you being with us tonight for our first high school football coverage of the year in terms of Friday Night Lights. I know the Corky Kell's been going on this week.
Yeah.
3 games over at Barron Stadium today. It was fun driving over, and I looked over and saw the light shining and players out on the field. I'm like, yes, we're going. It's time.
That's right.
So much fun.
It's underway. Thriller in Cedartown to start the season last night. I'm sure there'll be some great games tonight. We've got some to watch. I was walking in, and Jason Payne stopped me, and he was like, the game of the week, Carrollton and Langston Hughes. What a way to start the season.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. You talk about some D1 talent on both sides on both those teams. Just ridiculous. They're both loaded.
Calhoun at Blessed Trinity tonight. That's one that people will be looking at.
My buddy Jeff Gable's down there. Going Gable.
That's right. And as far as Darlington is concerned in their schedule, if you're wondering about the non-region slate that they've got this year before they jump into Region 7A Division I, you've got, of course, Christian Academy of Knoxville. The Warriors here tonight. Going to be back at home next week against Sonoraville. The first road game of the year is going to be up at Christian Heritage, which is always a really interesting atmosphere to go to a football game. These two teams, let's just put it like it is, they don't like each other. So it's going to be pretty intense up there. Then you'll go to Northwest Whitfield, where the Pepperell Dragons went yesterday and did not have a fun time. So that'll be a very tough test in non-region play. And that's something Darlington definitely has a history of doing, is scheduling those tough non-region tilts in the non-region schedule, and I think that's a great thing. Test these guys, figure out what you got and all that kind of stuff, where you need the most work, and get yourself prepared for a tough region schedule.
Yeah, Matt. Here we go, big third down.
Shotgun formation, DeMarion Floyd. They're going to swing it to him to the near side, trying to get him in space. He turns, it looks like he's going to throw, puts it in the air, and it goes out of bounds on the sidelines to one of his teammates.
I tell you what,
it's incomplete.
I've said this a lot. On the halfback passes, most of the time when they get under pressure, they eat the ball or run out of bounds. They have the option to throw it out of bounds too, and D-Man did it there instead of taking the loss. So I'm going to give him credit where credit is due. It was a smart play to just throw it downfield out of bounds, save the yardage, and looks like Darlington will have to punt this one away. By the way, Talon Shire walked off the field under his own power. Oh, we're going to go for it or pooch kick?
We'll see what happens. Konchesky ready to take the snap on 4th down. And there was some movement on the line. He drew him off sides, as you mentioned, so that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, setting up a 4th and 5. Wow.
Yeah, went with the hard count there. And now this is intriguing. It's still giving up good field position if you don't convert on 4th and 5, but it's hard not to take the temptation of a 5 yards for a big conversion to keep this thing going and see if you can go get another score.
2 wide to the near side, 1 on the far side. Konchesky set to take the snap here on 4th down from the 40-yard line inside Warriors territory. Tigers working from left to right. Going to have everybody in tight except for 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. There's the snap, and he's going to kick it away. Ball is in the air. It is going to drop it around the 20-yard line and take a Warriors bounce out to about the 25 before the Tigers down it.
I thought that was what was coming on the last play. Went with the hard count again, see if they could fool them twice. Couldn't, and that one had a little English on it and came back about 5 yards instead of getting the home team bounce. So Darlington goes 3 and out on that drive. And the Warriors will take over for their 4th drive on their own 25-yard line.
I'm glad we've got the window shut today, man, because the student section here is being very liberal with the baby powder stuff today.
Oh, is it out and about again? Well, it is a whiteout tonight, Matt. It's a whiteout.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Here we go, on the ball quick.
Ball on the 25-yard line. Trout takes the snap. He turns, puts a little bit of fire on that one, connects with a wide receiver, and they pick up about an 11-yard gain. I think the wide receiver that caught that was Glass.
Yeah, he fired that one. That was, Alexander Glass was the one who caught that ball.
So 5:50 left in the first half. The Tigers lead this one 13-6. Right now the Warriors with the ball working from right to left. And they got a first down on that first play, so it's going to be 1st and 10 now with the ball at 38 on their side of the field. Trout set to take the snap with Rich in the backfield with him. Going to send 2 wide receivers, including his favorite target, Christopher Cook, here to the near side. 1 on the far side is going to be Peyton Smith. So the Warriors here from Knoxville, Tennessee, This program won a couple of state championships about 10 or so years ago. They're going to hand it off to Rich. He bounces off a couple of tackles and gets out of bounds, and that should be no gain.
Man, I mean, they blew that play up. Henry Ledbetter was back there slinging him around. Sam Twente was also making some noise, but an excellent job there by Lincoln Rich just to shake loose and get close to the line of scrimmage.
Aiden Trout lines him up again in a shotgun. Going to send 2 wide to the near side, 1 on the far side. Trout takes a snap. He'll turn, fires, ball's in the air, connects with Cook, and he is going to be brought down instantly by the Tigers. And making the stop there for the Tigers is going to be Noah Duggan.
A good tackle there. We've got a penalty, and this one might be on Coach Groves. He was right in the ear of the official there. What are they going to call? Okay, let's see. And I guess, hey, Coach Groves is the attorney tonight. He just worked that one and got the call. That's going to bring that one back and put him 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He was hot. He was right in his ear.
So now we'll have the Warriors go back to the line of scrimmage after a penalty and a loss. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down and a long way to go here for the Warriors, as they're going to be backed up to around the 32-yard line. So they've got about 15 yards to go to get another 1st down.
I'm just waiting on one of these Darlington defensive backs to jump these timing patterns and take one of the house, Matt.
Aiden Trout getting set to take the snap. It's in his hands, turns, hands it off. Nice handoff, Rich up the middle. He's got some room, 1 man to beat now, and he's got the motors running. That's a long run for a touchdown. Warriors are going to make this a 1-point ball game with that touchdown. They can tie it up here with an extra point or take the lead with a 2-point conversion. Boy, that was a big-time run right there.
It was.
69 yards.
Yeah, he has played a whale of a game, even though he hasn't popped one yet. Now we've seen he has the ability to take it to the house. So he just outran the defensive backs on that play.
So we got a 13-12 ball game, PAT pending, and it does look like we're going to see the Warriors go for 2 here to try to take the lead rather than tie the ball game. So Trout is getting ready to take the snap. Rich is in the backfield. Certainly got to watch him. There's the snap. They fake the handoff. Going to throw it towards the end zone. He dropped it.
Yeah.
It's going to be incomplete, and the score remains 13-12 with 4:40 left to go in the first half.
So Darlington holds on to the lead. And that was just a great play by Floyd to get a hand in there and disrupt the ball just enough for that to hit the turf. But just like that, after 2 straight stops by the Darlington defense, 1 play, and the Warriors are right back in this thing. Not that they were out of it, but they almost evened it up and took the lead. And Darlington will get another crack at it with 4:40 left and 1 timeout. They'd love to go get points before the half.
No doubt about it. And again, a theme that we've seen in this game, obviously you had the touchdown play, 69 yards to pay dirt on the run, but then the Tigers defense bounces back and stops a 2-point conversion and therefore has something positive happen right after that. So that's just the way you got to play it. Take it to the next play and make a play.
And now you got to bounce back and go get some points.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be interesting to watch. I haven't looked down on the sidelines, see if Talon Shirey has gone on in to get some treatment. He was under the tent, and they were working on his leg, but he is such a big part of this offense.
He's out there. He's on the sidelines. But not currently on the field. Doesn't have his helmet on.
So they're going to get him hydrated.
Shepard Gaston to kick it away here for the Warriors. Tigers lead it by 1 point right now after the long run from Rich. Getting closer to halftime now. Glad to have you with us on WLAQ and also the Darlington YouTube stream. And here comes Gaston running towards the football. Toe meets leather, end over end. It's going to drop right into the arms of D-Man Floyd. He is a threat. Runs up the middle of the field. And he's going to be brought down at around the 22-yard line. Some laundry came in there in a flag.
Oh, no.
So we'll see what the official says about that in just a couple of moments. Haven't seen the call just yet.
Been a fairly clean game for a first game of the season.
Waiting on the official's call.
Yep.
Blocking the back. It's going to be against the Darlington Tigers.
So that will put them back in a hole here for their 5th drive of the game. We'll see where they march this off to. First returnable kick of the game, and like you said, Floyd's a dangerous guy with the ball in his hands, but that was well defended by the coverage team.
Yeah, Demarion Floyd, he's one of those guys that's just always a step away from breaking the big one, and I was hoping we were going to get to see that there, but just because we didn't doesn't mean we won't at some point in this ball game. So they're going to send a wide receiver to the far side. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They're going to start on their own 11-yard line, so worst field position to start a drive here in the ball game. Here's the snap. Going to turn, hand it off to Demarion Floyd. Cuts to his right, and he's going to be brought down, and he might have got a yard.
That ball.
I think it's going to be no gain.
They made a swipe at the ball. I thought it was going to pop out there for just a second, but he was able to squeeze it and hold on.
Yeah, he got a couple of yards. So that brings up 2nd and 8 with the ball now spotted on the 11-yard line for the Tigers. So they got some work to do here.
Yes, they do. And the last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the Warriors good field position.
3 wide to the far side here on 2nd down and 8. Ball on the 14. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to toss it out to the left side, and Demarion Floyd trying to get him in space. A flag comes in as we see Demarion Floyd run out of bounds, and
it's in the area of a hold.
That was Linkus in the corner. Hey, tell our inside linebackers got to run. They got to run.
Holding call. That's going to be against the Tigers.
That'll be half the distance of the goal there.
Going to have some new personnel trotting out on the field for this package. Jaron Payne, and also you've got Sam Wooten out on the field here for the Tigers. A couple of guys coming off, Hendricks Jones as well as Bodie Powers. Bodie Powers is the son of Bryant Powers, who is one of the coaches for the Darlington Tigers, and grandson of Gordon Powers, who used to coach at Model for, I think, about 12 or 13 seasons. We covered a lot of those games during that period of time.
And is Gordon going to be with you when you head up to Christian Heritage?
You know, I hadn't asked him yet, but you may have just now. Shotgun formation. There's a snap from around the goal line. Going to hand it off to Demarion Floyd. Could this be a big one? He cuts back inside. Nice move. First down, Darlington Tigers. And Demarion Floyd with a big play.
Just what the doctor ordered there. Back deep in their own territory, moving in the wrong direction after the penalty on the kickoff and then the penalty on the pitch. But D-Man takes it, cuts it up, gets 17 and a huge first down.
So the Tigers now at the line of scrimmage, which is at the 27-yard line with a first down. D-Man in the backfield with Konchesky. They're going to turn, fake the handoff. Quarterback's going to run the football to the near side. Konchesky is going to be hit by 2 players. Ball comes out, but he was out of bounds. And that's going to be a gain for the Tigers.
And you've got a Warrior down under the Darlington bench. We've got another cramp.
And again, that's just something you're going to see this time of year. It's not as hot as we've experienced before at this time of year, but it's still pretty daggum hot and humid. So we'll have another stoppage of play.
I'm up here drinking water like I'm the one having a cramp, you know. Got to hydrate in the booth, right, Matt?
And it is kind of funny because we've got the, the air right underneath us, and it just blows up at us the whole time. I almost feel bad about talking about that with what everybody's going through.
Don't worry.
out there.
Karma will get us. We will go on the road somewhere and swelter.
Oh.
Yeah. We've had way too much fun with this AC we have here. So we'll pay for it.
The heat's tough to deal with, but then when you get, fairly deep in the playoffs, which makes it worth it, but is when you get one of those really, really cold nights where it gets so cold outside, which is kind of rare to happen, but I have had a couple of times where it got so cold where if I had an ink pen, the ink froze and couldn't write.
And the paper your papers get floppy.
Yeah,
you get floppy paper, frozen pens. It's bad news, guys, bad news. Tell you what's not bad news. Darlington getting out of that hole they were in and getting a first down, getting this drive going. they're going to have an opportunity to get some points before the half, and that would be huge, only leading by 1 with 3:21 left. Now, to set the stage for you, though, Darlington had to spend a couple of their timeouts. One of those was on a 2-point conversion, and Coach Groves stepped in, made sure he had the right personnel in. They got a huge stop. They were able to stop the other 2-point conversion as well. But the Warriors have their full complement of 3 timeouts, so Darlington really wants to manage the clock well here. They want to get points, but they also don't want to give the Warriors a chance to go down and take the lead before halftime either.
Do want to let you know about our coverage. We've changed a couple of things on WLAQ this year. We had the inaugural edition of the Coach Grove Show earlier this week on our YouTube channel at WLAQ, as well as our Facebook Live. And we're going to, of course, have another edition, the second edition, coming out this Wednesday. It'll be fun to talk to Coach Groves about this game. And
hopefully we're discussing a W.
Hopefully so, no doubt about it. But we had a good time with that. I want to thank Nathan Patterson. He came out to the radio station to help me out to get things arranged where it's a little bit easier to run. And man.
Oh, you've been working real hard,
it's going to
man.
look a lot better coming up next week because of his help. We appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate you, Nathan. And Matt Davis he's been figuring it out now for several months. He's been buying new equipment and giving us the opportunity to do something new, and it's exciting and not without its hiccups, but man, I'm having a blast.
And the last thing I needed was more gray hair, and I've got even more, if that's even possible.
Matt's been excited all summer, and then as we got close to crunch time, I walked into the studio and heard him go, "Why am I doing this?" And I said, "Because it's going to be awesome, Matt. That's why. And it will be."
Well, we appreciate Coach Groves being willing to come straight from practice to join us at 7 o'clock. And, I mean, he was coming in on 2 wheels more than likely to get there in time to do the show, and we really appreciate him offering that time to us.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Show, because I think, the fans are really going to love hearing from him every week and hearing what he's got to say about the Darlington Tigers. All right, we got 2nd down and 3, balls on the 35-yard line here. The Tigers are going to have an empty backfield. Konchesky going to take the snap. He's dropping back. He's got company. Nice move to dodge the coverage. Puts the ball in the air, connects, but he can't hang on. The intended wide receiver was Trenton Moore. I think his eyes got a little big there and couldn't secure the ball, but that's going to be incomplete.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's just a case of turning your eyes downfield without looking the ball in and securing it. Would have been a big gain, but you got to shake that one off and move on to the next play.
Indeed you do, and he'll get other opportunities as the season goes on, maybe even before this game's over. So that's one of those things where you just got to shake it off and, as you say, just kind of move to the next play. So we got 3rd down. It's 3rd down and 3. Ball's still on the 35-yard line. Konchesky working left to right. He's going to fake the handoff, run the ball. He's got a lot of green grass, folks. 1st down, and he's on the move across the 50 down to the 40. They tug his jersey, can't bring him down. Cuts inside. Look at Sammy go. My goodness, the footwork. He's at the 30-yard line, and they bring him down at around the 31. What a heck of a run, and there's also laundry on the field.
Yeah, on the far side away from the play, you've got a flag that might bring that back a little bit, but I think when the dust clears, Darlington will still be in really good shape here. What a play by Sammy Konchesky as he keeps again. He's got to be closing in on 100 yards on the game.
So Sammy Konchesky with another massive run in this football game. We've got the Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game at the end of the day, and you got to figure at this point, Ian, Sammy Konchesky's name is certainly going to be in the conversation.
Absolutely. He's made some huge plays with his arms and his legs. And I tell you what, I think that was Sam 20 away from the ball. He was finishing a block and the player turned. I don't know if they're going to get him for a hold, but it's not going to negate that entire gain. So from the end of the play, they're going to march it back 10 yards, and Darlington will have it 1st and 10. At the 41-yard line.
Whatever you do, don't crack the window.
Oh, no. I prefer not. Hey, and wasn't your sister informing us that there's some new kind of murder hornet just yesterday?
We're going to have 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 in the near. Konchesky lines him up on 1st down. Here's the snap. He's going to swing it out to Demarion Floyd, try to get him in space. He finds not a lot of room there. It's going to be brought down close to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a little swing pass there. They've gone to that one a lot. And again, just give D-Man the ball and let him make a play. Talon Showery back on the field. That's great to see. Great news for this Tigers offense.
2:30 left to go here in the first half. Darlington leads at 13-12. It's second down and 9 here for the Tigers at the ball at the 41 of the Warriors. Working left to right. Konchesky with the ball. Puts it in the air. That was actually Luke Parker, by the way, in at quarterback here for the Tigers.
Okay. I guess Konchesky ran himself to death on that last run. He probably ran 80 yards.
Brought him over the sidelines, give him a little chance to take a break. And talking about the different skill sets with Coach Groves about these quarterbacks, obviously one of the things that gets highlighted with Sammy Konchesky, he can throw the ball, but boy, he can really run. And Luke Parker's got a heck of an arm, so we're going to get to see a little bit of that here in this ball game, it looks like.
And a nice play. Parker coming in cold and firing a dart for 7 or 8 yards. And that's the first time out for the Warriors.
We're going to take one also. 1:57 left to go here in the first half of the game. Darlington leads at 13-12, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Message from our buddy Brooke, and he's enjoying the commentary about the murder hornets.
Got to watch out for those murder hornets, man. Yeah. I don't want Matt to get stung in the middle of a broadcast, you know.
I have a tendency to get stung. I was cutting my grass a couple of years ago. I think my son learned some new words because I got mobbed. Got stung about 15 times, I think. There's the snap, going to hand it off to Demarion Floyd.
I think that's enough for the first down.
And it is. They're moving the chains. So D-Man with a big play.
And managing the clock as well. 1 minute and 51 seconds left here as they move the chains. Clock will roll on the official signal. So right now everything's stacking up the way you want it to if you're a Darlington Tigers fan.
All right, they're going to split one wide receiver to the far side, one on the near side. You're going to have Sammy Konchesky back in at quarterback. Demarion Floyd is going to be flanked to his right. So let's see what they dial up for 1st and 10 here at the 30. There's the snap. Going to turn. Quarterback's going to run the football. Cuts to the near side. This time the defense closes in and lowers the boom. My goodness, that was a hard hit from Shepard Gaston.
It was, and Konchesky threw off one of the defenders and turned around just to be greeted rudely by Mr. Gaston there. And I think Gaston might have taken it might be worse for the wear after that little meeting.
I think you're right. They got his helmet out. Well, it does look like they're working another cramp. We've seen 3 or 4 of those
season
already. It is.
And we're glad that they're cramps. We don't want to see these guys suffer any kind of serious injury, but man, like we said earlier, it smarts.
Indeed it does. Well, we've got a lot of great stuff coming up tonight here on WLAQ. So if you're watching on the video, we'll flip it to the radio tonight after tonight's coverage and check out the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. Lynn and Austin Butler are going to be there. And they got some folks that are going to call in from other area games and give their analysis. They're going to have a trivia question tonight, give away some passes to go to Lake Winnie, which your chances to do that are running kind of thin. They're only going to be open for a few more weeks in terms of the summer.
Head on down or up and get you some Dippin' Dots. Hop into the lazy river. It's a madhouse in there.
It is.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's not very lazy.
What is that wacky room or whatever they got over there? The fun house? I forget what you call it.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It'll take you right back to 1970.
Jack's got to get out here to number 2. Jack's got to get out here with 2 receivers.
1 minute and 12 left, 2nd and 10 for the Tigers.
My wife's going to Chuck E. Cheese tonight.
Heck yeah.
Squalling youngins and a skee-ball bell. There's the snap. Konchesky drops back, looking to throw, puts it up in the air, connects with the receiver. It's Wooten, and my goodness, he is going to be
down at the 1.
Down at the 1-yard line, just short. But what a great play. A nice pass from Konchesky and a grab from Sam Wooten, and now they're going to have 1st and goal from the 1. Wow.
Darlington does not have to be in a hurry here. 1:03 left. They can let that play clock bleed a little bit.
Heavy.
Man gets off the field. That's Aiden Davis. And now the Tigers look like they were going to line up in power and timeout. All right, we're going to take a quick one as well. 1:03 left to go in the first half. Darlington with first and goal from the 1 yard line, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. We welcome you back live here to Darlington School and Chris Hunter Stadium, where the Tigers lead this one 13-12, and now they're playing the Stones and Give Me Shelter on the PA. That's one of my favorite tunes, man. I love that one.
We got to see if Honeymoon Bakery can make an electrolyte-filled cupcake so that their cupcakes can help with the cramping issues. They could be out here icing down the players.
Exactly.
Right.
I like it. Well, it looks like the Tigers are going to line up in power. Sammy Konchesky is there. Everybody bunched up, trying to get it across the goal line here on first and goal. Here's the snap to Konchesky. He's going to run it, and he's in. Ladies and gentlemen, a touchdown for the Tigers, the second of the game for Sammy Konchesky, the quarterback. And they're able to get some points with under a minute to go in the first half.
And that drive started all the way back at the 13-yard line and crept back inside the Darlington 10. But a little QB power there from the Tigers offense, and Sammy Konchesky just plowed his way into the end zone. And we got a man down. Is that Konchesky?
Oh. It's a cramp, Ian, I believe.
I'm telling you. Electrolyte cupcakes. You tell Tanya and Mr. Dillman, I'm on to the next big thing.
So man down here for the Tigers again, working on a cramp here as we get towards halftime. So we're going to keep it right here. We do have a halftime show coming up. We'll talk about how the first half went here. We'll see if we can get some scores from other games. It's still early in most of the other games going on around the area. And, of course, with the Corky Kell, with Rome playing Cass tonight, they're not scheduled to play until 8:30, and that's if it starts at that time.
If it starts on time.
Because there was two other games there today.
Are those games on television? Are you telling me I might get home in time to watch a little football?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Peachtree TV, man.
Sweet.
You might even get a little Rusty Manziel tonight on that.
Awesome. That'd be great. Always love bonus football. When we get out of here, get home, catch one the tail end of one of the games, especially when it's a local team.
You can get all the scores and highlights and analysis from the guys on the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. They ride again tonight. Starting right after our game.
I hope some people will call in from last night's games too. I'd love to hear some Dragons fans take on what went down up at Tunnel Hill. And then, if we could get maybe our good friend Rick Lundy has some insight into the Cedartown Bulldogs' close victory at home over their bitter rival.
He does. And the sign game from Rockmart this year has been kind of interesting because they had a sign at the Rome scrimmage a week or so ago that went viral, got on USA Today and all kinds of different websites. And it said something to the effect of Rome wasn't built in the day, but it's about to be ruined in one or something like that. I forget. I'm paraphrasing here. And then they scored the first 6 points, and the Rome just drubbed them the rest of the way. And it went viral because of that. Well, last night, they put one up that said, why did the Bulldog cross the road? Because he couldn't pass the goal line, taking a shot at them for what happened in the state championship game. And guess what happened?
Man.
Cedartown won the game 13-12 as Rockmart missed a field goal at the end of the game that could have won them the game. So,
I don't know. I'll let your play on the field. Let your play on the field do the talking. I've always been a fan of that. I don't like bulletin board material, and when that's 2 straight weeks they've gone to on a road game and come in with that kind of sign. That's brave. That's brave.
It is, man.
Very brave. They almost pulled last night off though. So
they did. And that, I tell you, 13-12, just a tough battle between two bitter rivals taking place down in Cedartown. What a way to start the season, man.
And you said Rockmart missed a long field goal?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was about a 42-yarder. And they kicked it, I believe, on third down.
Well, I know
so they turned it over, and the game was over because time ran out.
A lot of passionate fans for both those teams. Give our boys Lynn and Austin a call tonight. Tell us how it all went down.
Yeah, especially early in the show because they're going to start before all the scores come in.
We could dedicate a good 30 minutes to this game and that game. So, and Pepperell fans, y'all will call in a little bit early. And again, you know, I know the Dragons fans are probably a little disappointed with that start, but we've seen this time and time again with them. You know, they play up at the beginning of the season and get stronger and stronger as it goes on.
And anytime you lose just a phenomenal talent like DJ Rogers, you got some things to figure out, you know, and they will.
Big extra point here because it would stretch the lead to 8.
And here comes the kick from Hendricks Jones, and that one is going to be through. So it is going to be an 8-point ball game, 20-12 in favor of the Darlington Tigers.
All right. That's a big extra point because we've seen the Warriors go for 2 every time they score. So you want to keep that distance there. And Christian Academy of Knoxville will have 1 timeout left in 57 seconds, but they like to throw the ball around the yard, so I imagine they will take some shots here before the half.
So again, 57.8 ticks left on the clock. 20-12 is your score. The Darlington Tigers lead the ball game by 8 here at home. It's been some ups and downs throughout the game, but every time something's happened to the Tigers that wasn't in their favor, they've been able to bounce back and keep moving forward. So we're seeing a lot of good things here in this football game in the first half.
I mean, everything was going wrong at the beginning of that drive. You had the penalty on the kickoff, then the pitch play. There was a holding call half the distance to the goal, but D-Man busted a big run, 17 yards to get a first down and get that drive going. And then you saw the electrifying run by Sammy Konchesky where he probably covered 80 to 100 yards, gaining 40. So he was all over the field. This kid's a lot of fun to watch. Big pass from him to Sam Wooten, and then he cashed it in on the next play. So been a lot of fun tonight.
It has been a tremendous amount of fun. We'll get back to Braves baseball coming up tomorrow night as the Braves are hosting the San Francisco Giants down at Truist Park. So if you were tuning in for that, I know the Braves had an early lead in that one. Of course, they are an absolute run-scoring machine right now. There's a line drive kick. It's going to be fielded, brought out at about the 17-yard line. Guess who's got it? It's Rich, of course, and he cuts up the middle of the field and gets to about the 30-yard line before they can haul him in. He's a tough customer.
50 ticks of the clock left in this half of football, and we've got another cramp.
This cramp is brought to you by... No, I'm just kidding.
Buc-ee's. If you're just eating some Buc-ee's jerky.
All right, it's too early in the season and too early in the game for us to start getting silly like this already.
Oh, man, come on now. Game started at 7. All bets are off, right?
They're going to fire us.
Well, the trainers have had their hands full tonight.
Well, to talk to you about the Braves on the radio tomorrow on WLAQ, Giants at the Braves. 7:20 is first pitch for that one. Pre-game's at 6:05. Then they'll turn around on Sunday and have an afternoon game, 12:20 pre-game. And 1:35 is going to be the first pitch for that game.
Have you caught a score tonight?
You know, we'll do a little check on that because I'm sure some folks tuning into the radio tonight were tuning in and forgot that it was going to be football season. Right now, the Braves lead that one. Bottom of the fourth, 3-0 is the score.
All right, coming off of a sweep of the Yankees and winning 3 out of 4 against the Mets. Let's keep it going against the Giants, guys.
And I know the Yankees aren't having a banner year. I think they're hovering close to 500. But anytime you can get a sweep of the Yankees, it's nice.
No, done. I don't
really
care.
Nice.
I wouldn't care if they hadn't won a game all year. I would celebrate that.
All right, shotgun formation as we get ready for Trout two wide receivers to the far side, one on the near. There's the snap. He's dropping back, looking to throw, putting some air under this one. It's going towards one of his favorite targets, Christopher Cook. That's incomplete. I think it bounced off somebody's helmet.
It was about 3 yards out of bounds as well.
So an incomplete pass, and now there's 42.2 seconds left on the clock, bringing up second down. And like you said, Ian, the way this team likes to sling it around, wasn't surprised to see him take a shot here.
And they get the ball to start the second half as they deferred.
So shotgun formation. It's going to have a 4-wide set. There's the snap. Going to hand it off, going back to nope, that was not Rich that time. It was number 31, Ramines. And he picked up a couple of yards there on that play.
Nice tackle by McKay Rush there, coming off the edge, shutting that down.
So Aiden Trout, senior quarterback here for the Warriors, gets ready to line them up here for a big third down play. Two wide receivers on the far side, one on the near. The wide receiver on this side is going to be Christopher Cook. The Warriors are working from right to left. Almost halftime here, 6 seconds on the clock. Quarterback looks off to the sidelines. I think we've seen our last play of the half. We have. And that is it. The Darlington Tigers lead it at halftime. 20-12 is your score from Chris Hunter Stadium. And they will head to the locker room, and we will head to a break. Glad to have you with us tonight on the Darlington School live stream, also WLAQ Radio. We'll return in 3 minutes.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our two founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-0040.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
At Darlington, we find our confidence in discovering who we are.
In the classroom and on stage.
The opportunities are endless. Our creativity knows no bounds as we take risks,
explore opportunities,
and stretch our minds.
Together with our teachers,
we use what we've learned to create beauty,
to tell stories,
to inspire. We discover new passions
while allowing existing ones to flourish.
We know that we can do anything.
Be anything. Achieve anything.
We give our time to something greater than ourselves. Whether we're sketching,
singing,
writing,
or acting, we find new ways to express ourselves
and share our talents with the world. We know that our ideas and contributions matter, and we take great pride in that.
Because today,
tomorrow, forever.
We're Darlington Tigers.
All right, right, we welcome you back into live coverage of Darlington Tigers football right here on the Darlington School YouTube stream and WLAQ. No place that we'd rather be on a Friday night this time of year than hanging out with the Darlington Tigers.
No doubt about it. And a fun first half. Back and forth action there. Darlington has not surrendered the lead, but it has been a back and forth game nonetheless. They scored first, went up 7-0. The Warriors answered but failed their two-point conversion. Darlington went down and scored again. Back came the Warriors with a 69-yard touchdown, but again failed to convert. And then Darlington capped that half off with a 1-yard touchdown run by Sammy Konchesky, and they lead 20-12 at halftime.
All in all, a pretty good first half here for the Tigers. Obviously, you've seen some penalties and things of that nature for both teams that you do see typically in these first, games of the season. Things they'll iron out as they go along throughout the season. But it's been a good start here to the Coach Groves era and the start of the season for the Darlington Tigers. This has been a tremendous amount of fun, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the second half has in store for us.
Yeah. I don't think that this one's far from over. The Warriors will get the ball to start the second half. They won the toss and deferred. And their offense is certainly capable of striking quick, as they like to chuck it around the yard, but they also have a heck of a running back, we've learned. So I think this is going to be one that goes down and is decided in the fourth quarter.
I think you're right, man. While we got a moment here, I want to have some acknowledgments. I want to thank our radio sponsors for being along with us. We've got Atrium Health Floyd along with us again this year, Avery Drugs, a new one this year, Embry Painting, Chad Embry. They came out and painted my house a couple of weeks ago, did a fine job, and they're glad to be with us on the radio broadcast this year. So thanks, Chad. We appreciate you. Georgia Northwestern Technical College, they've been riding with us on high school football coverage for a number of years now, as well as Harbin Clinic, Honeymoon Bakery, and the icing on the cake player of the game, Riverside Auto Group, also Rome Orthopedic Center, the sponsor of our scoreboard show and our radio coverage after the games, and then Ware Mechanical. We appreciate all of you for being a part of us, part of this broadcast. We really appreciate it. And let's see, what else we got going on, man? We do want to let everybody know, again, that we got the scoreboard show coming up at the end of the evening. And then as far as other football programming throughout the week, we've referenced so far throughout the broadcast, and you also caught it at the beginning of the pregame if you tuned in early today, is the Coach Grove Show. Something new this year. We're doing a 30-minute program with Coach Groves on Wednesday evenings at 7 o'clock. That airs live on the WLAQ YouTube channel, as well as the WLAQ Facebook page. So if you haven't liked us or subscribed or whatever you got to do to those things to be able to be notified about it, you need to do that. That way you can tune in and catch that show live. And we appreciate Coach Groves agreeing to do that. We had a lot of fun this past week and look forward to chatting with him every week throughout the season. And then we turn around on Thursday mornings at 10:30, same channels, WLAQ YouTube and also WLAQ Facebook Live. And we do This Week in Northwest Georgia Football, where we predict the outcome of the games, except for the Darlington games. We recuse ourselves on those because it just didn't feel like the right thing to do to pick for against the team that you're calling.
Right, which we implemented that last season, and we're going to continue to do so. We do discuss the game and talk about how we think things will go. We just don't pick a team to win or lose. But, Matt, we pick these games on Thursdays. You want to hear some scores?
Let's hear some scores.
Hear some scores.
I know you want to hear some scores.
Right here at Chris Hunter Stadium, like we mentioned, Darlington leads Christian Academy of Knoxville 20-12. But across the region, we have some really good games tonight. One of the oldest rivalry in the state, and the
longest continuously running rivalry in the state of Georgia, Gordon Lee and Tryon.
Yeah, not the blowout we expected yet. Tryon leading 14-7 at home over the Trojans. A game that Matt thought would be closer than I did. He was giving the Cherokee Warriors a lot of credit, and I was not.
I did not give them that much
credit.
You
gave them some credit. You said they would jump up and bite somebody.
They've kind of built a reputation as a team that can play spoiler occasionally. Well, what I said.
I was giving you credit because they're hanging 7-7 with Cartersville early.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
A game that we had a difference in, the Coosa Eagles, and I'm telling you right now, there was some excitement I have not seen from Joey Mathis coming into this season. And I know Southeast Whitfield's not a world beater by any question, but right now they're up 21-0 on the road in their opening game. And this was a Coosa Eagles team that really struggled to finish drives, self-inflicted wounds, penalties, turnovers really plagued them last year. clicking on offense so far. So happy to see that for the Eagles. Blessed Trinity, big game down close to Atlanta. Our buddy Jeff Gable is calling that one. It's still tight, 7-0 in the second quarter. Blessed Trinity leads Calhoun. Sonorville and Pickens County are all knotted up at 0. Same for Armurchie and Gordon Central. And we may just not have any scores in yet for the rest of these games. Cass and Rome, as you mentioned, it just got underway in the first quarter. So we'll keep an eye on all these as the night goes on. And when this game's done, the boys back in the studio will have it all covered.
No doubt. The Model Blue Devils are off today. They open their season next week. They play the Pepperell Dragons. So that's another one of those matchups that the fans, they want to see every year, and looking forward to that coming up next week. So a lot of cool stuff happening. The high school football season's underway. Ian, next week, college football is going to kick off. I know the Jacksonville State Gamecocks have a game against UTEP coming up at home next week. You'll have the game over in Ireland between Notre Dame Fighting Irish and Navy. I believe they're playing this year over there. So that'll be a lot of fun to check out. I think that one's next weekend too, isn't it?
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. So we get a little taste of college football next week, and then you get the smorgasbord that is Labor Day weekend. Though I have seen a lot of people talk about the lack of big marquee matchups as compared to years past, but you've still got some really good ball games. My team opens up against Utah on a Thursday night that week, so that'll be an interesting game to watch. And then you've got LSU and FSU locking horns again. This second straight season that they've opened against each other on a neutral turf, and that'll be a big game. A lot of pundits are high on Florida State, and then Brian Kelly's first year in the SEC was very successful as well.
I do want to mention a special hello. I meant to do this at the beginning of the game. Of course, we had a nod to him earlier because we said toe meets leather, but our buddy Steve Conrad at home watching the game tonight, heard from him earlier this week. My phone rang, and I'm like, yep, it's time for Tigers football. So even though he's living up in the Charlotte area now and has been for the last few years, he is always ready to follow the Tigers. And, of course, he broadcast these games for a number of years and just did a fantastic job for WLAQ, and we appreciate him. And I always love talking to him and hearing his voice and getting to chat with him and hearing about what's going on with his dog Walter, and of course, our executive producer, Gina, who kept us in line for a lot of years. So, anyway, appreciate hearing from you, Steve, and we're glad to have you along with us tonight on the broadcast. We think about you every time we're up here.
Yeah, absolutely. A new era of Darlington Tigers football, and you haven't been able to say that much with this program because you've had such sustained success from the coaches that have been here.
No question about it, and a difference, obviously, in terms of this situation. Coach Atha was here for 21 seasons at the helm, took over for Jerry Sharp, who was here for a number of years, and Coach Atha was one of his assistants. So this time it's very different because obviously they hired from another program and brought in a guy who'd been very successful as a coordinator, but it's his first year as a head coach. And I remember when it was announced that Coach was stepping down and that they would have a new coach hired, there was a lot of speculation that takes place, as it always does. And that was a name that I don't remember hearing a lot. And when we heard it, we both reacted about the same way, that, man, that seems like an amazing fit.
No doubt about it. I think there was almost an expectation that possibly they would hire from within because that's the way it went down the last time 21 years ago. But Coach Groves, he said it on the show the other night. He's always wanted to be a head coach, but he wasn't just going to settle for any job. He wanted the right job. He wanted to go somewhere where he believed he could build a championship caliber program. And Darlington obviously already has that reputation, but there's room for them to go even further, and you can tell his aspirations are set on those sites.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. So, and it's off to a great start. Darlington Tigers on top here at halftime. 20-12 is your score. We're going to send it back to the studio for about a 4-minute timeout, and then we'll come back and have some more comments here at halftime. I'm Matt Davis alongside Ian Griffin here on WLAQ and also the Darlington School YouTube stream. We're just getting started, folks. We got a half in the books of the 2023 Darlington Tigers football season. We got the second half coming up in just a little bit. We're going to send it back to the studio for 4 minutes. We'll be back in just a bit.
Here, I'm becoming who I want to be.
Here, I am looking toward my future.
Here, we learn from our failures so that we may soon succeed.
Here, we're passionate about learning and trying new things every day.
Here, we search for new perspectives and cultures so we can better understand the world.
because at Darlington, we know we're in the most trusted hands.
As we discover new passions and learn more about ourselves through academics,
athletics,
fine arts,
and service to our community, we show our versatility as we choose different pathways to our goals.
this is our home.
We embrace challenges and persevere, even when something seems impossible.
We collaborate and create to take our place in the world.
We know that together we can make an impact.
This is our moment, our time.
Graduates today, Darlington forever.
Here to recognize the crew on the video. They're doing an absolute outstanding job as always. We've got the view of it right here, and man, that is looking pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, it's a packed house here tonight. But for those of you who are listening on the radio or watching the stream, we hope you're enjoying it, and we certainly love being able to look over and catch the replays and see all the action played back to us. It helps our broadcast tremendously, and just a great partnership with the school and with Northwest Georgia Media.
It's always fun to work with that crew, and they have Thomas Patterson and Noah Travis tonight. Era. Now, we'll get back to recognizing the video crew. Apologize for that. Press box cameras. Tonight you got Thomas Patterson and Noah Travis. Director is Mike Garrett. Also on replay, you've got Nathan Patterson. Graphics is Uta Patterson and Anya Hoffman. And then what they listed here for David Corbin is supper. So there you go.
Nice.
David Corbin with supper tonight. So
does that mean he's buying us all supper?
I don't know. Where we going is what I want to know. But we've got about 3 minutes until we start the second half of this football game. Again, the Darlington Tigers are up 20-12 over the visiting Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors. And I just sent the score to Jeff Gable because he was sending us scores from the Blessed Trinity Calhoun game. And I just sent Darlington 20, CAK 12, and he put question mark, CAK question mark. So anyway, but we're glad to have you with us. Let's take one more break. We'll step out for 2.5 minutes. We'll come back for the start of the second half. Darlington leads at 20-12. We'll return in 2.5 minutes.
Our AC.
Do we lose the air?
Yeah.
Let's go fire it back up. About at the conclusion of halftime here from Chris Hunter Stadium, getting ready for some more Darlington Tigers football. And note to selves here, Ian Griffin, we're not going to complain or make comments. We weren't complaining, but make reference to the air conditioner again because apparently we broke it. It's not working
I told
anymore.
You.
It's getting steamy.
I was singing "Instant Karma's Gonna Get You" during the break. So
my goodness,
that's right.
It's amazing how quickly it changed when that thing went off.
A lot of bodies in here.
Yes.
You know? It's an active press box.
So we went from about to grab a jacket to sweating in about, 5 minutes, I guess. But we're glad to have you with us. We've got the mandatory warm-up period here for about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and then we'll have the start of the second half. So while we've got a couple of moments here, give us some thoughts, Ian, on what you'd like to see from the Tigers coming out of the locker room.
Well, again, Christian Academy of Knoxville deferred after they won the toss and kicked the ball off. Darlington did take it right down the field and score, so they made them pay for that. But the Warriors get the ball to start this second half, and we'll have an opportunity to go and even this thing up. What we've learned, if they score a touchdown, they're going for two. So if they can get a score and a conversion, then this thing will be all knotted up. So what would set the tone? A 3-and-out. I'd love to see that. And Darlington's defense certainly showed that they can get off the field. They did it on a few occasions there in the late first and midway through the second quarter. They stopped 2 straight drives. So if they could get a stop here, get the ball back, and stretch this lead to 2 scores, I think Darlington fans will be a lot more comfortable. They've got to continue doing what they do. Talon Shirey hopefully isn't limited. He had some cramping issues there. Almost came down with a really good grab, but couldn't quite do it because his calf seized up on him. So hopefully he's back out there and at full strength. They've just got to continue to get their playmakers the ball in space, which they did a great job of in the second half. And Konchesky has made the right reads
90% of the time tonight and made some great plays. They just got to keep doing what they're doing and get a few stops.
No doubt about it. And, of course, one of the things that we do know about this team is they've got some depth at that quarterback position because you got Sammy Konchesky, who's got great legs, good arm, can throw the ball. But then you also have Luke Parker, which they think very highly of as well. And anytime you've got a roster on a single-A football team where you've got two very, very capable quarterbacks and then some, because they've got some other guys that can fill in there as well, you got a good thing going in that situation. So
yeah, absolutely. Got a couple of score updates before we get this half started. The Armurchie Indians on the road leading 21-0 over Gordon Central. Glad to see the Indians getting things off on the right foot in the Eric Ballou era.
We both picked the Indians on that one.
We did. Coosa's up 21-3 at half over Southeast Whitfield. Cartersville stretched out to a 20-7 lead over Cherokee. No surprise there. And Chattooga trails Lafayette. The Ramblers are up 14-3 at home. And did you get an update directly from Jeff Gable? Still 7-0?
Yeah, the last time we heard from him, he said that it was 7-0, and it was at halftime at that point of that football game.
Okay, so, defensive battle over there.
Yeah.
So. Two really good teams there. But, a lot of great action going around the region, but we've got a good one on our hands right here at Chris Hunter Stadium.
Another train's going by. Is
that number 3?
I
guess we're going to find
believe
out.
It is. They haven't put it on the screen just yet, but I'm sure we're going to see it at some point here in just a couple of moments, or at least we'll hear the announcement from Bob Berry.
Man, they plan. Train number 4. See, we missed 1 and 3. We're bad on the odd numbers tonight, man.
Well, kicking off here for the Darlington Tigers, you're going to have Hendricks Jones, and the Warriors will open up with the football here to start our second half after winning the toss and deferring, as you had referenced earlier. And we are just about ready to go. It's time to start the second half of the first ball game of the year. Here's the kick. That one's end over end. There goes the baby powder. They're going to bring it out. I get screened by the powder. They're going to cut it up to the right side of the field. Number 30 has got it. That's going to be Blevins, and he is going to explode for about 40 yards before they get him out of bounds. A big return to start the second half.
Yeah, nice field position for the Warriors to start this one. We'll see where they mark that ball. It looked like it was right around the 40.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. So they're going to set up shop with only 60 yards, or a little bit less to go to get some more points. So Darlington going to have their work cut out for them here on defense after a big return to start the second half here for the Warriors. So they will trot Aiden Trout back out up to the field. They're going to send a couple of wide receivers to the near side, 2 on the far side. They're going to be stacked up on either side. In the backfield is going to be Rich. They will turn, looking to throw, puts the ball in the air. He connects with the receiver up the middle of the field, and they get it down to about the 44-yard line. That was a nice grab by the wide receiver, Alexander Glass, after a great throw from Trout.
And again, just a 3-step drop, step up, and fire. Find your receiver. And Trout has done an excellent job all night in executing this offense.
So a pistol look here for Trout. 3 wide receivers to the far side. It looked like a man on the line jump for the Tigers.
Yeah, McKay Rush, I believe. No. Wait, I can't read that number. Is that 66? No?
Not sure.
Yeah, I couldn't catch it. It was a little bunched up, but it happened. 65. So that was Ari Levy that jumped, but Tigers give him a free 5. It'll be 1st and 5.
So a pistol formation, 3 wide to the far side, 1 on the near. Here comes the snap. Trout's going to hand it off. A delayed handoff. He's got some room. He's up the middle, and he is gone. Big run there. Man down on the field here for the Warriors, but a big run again here by Rich, and that's another touchdown for the Warriors. And pending a 2-point conversion, we can have a tie ball game. And a man down on the field again.
That
probably another cramp here.
Was quick. 2 plays, 60 or 59 yards.
How long was that run, Ian?
That run was, I think, about 39 yards.
That young man scored a couple of touchdowns already. Number 22, Lincoln Rich. He's certainly been the main guy toting the mail here for the Warriors.
This is the same play he scored on in the first half. Right up the middle, untouched.
But sorry, Mr. Rich, you will get no cupcakes. Not eligible for the honeymoon bakery icing on the cake player of the game.
Nope, got to wear
Only
purple
Tigers
and white.
Going to win that one. No cupcakes for you.
And an update, the AC's back.
Oh, thank goodness. I love me some AC, man.
You know, I learned something the other day. Did you know Aretha Franklin hated air conditioning?
Really?
It messed with her vocal cords. She once made them turn it off in the theater.
You know what? Here, this is funny. I never heard that. It's an interesting story.
that was a new one for me. I did not know that.
So here is one of those moments where you're kind of like, duh. But I went to Alaska this summer. We took my wife there for her birthday and had a phenomenal time. But we were staying at this lodge there because it was a part of like a cruise tour. And we went in. I'm like, it's a little stuffy in here. I'm going to go turn on the air conditioner. They don't have air conditioners in Alaska, you know?
Just open a window, right?
Yeah, you just crack the window.
Yeah,
but you got to watch out for that because they have, you think we have mosquitoes here? I've never seen that many mosquitoes in my life.
Really?
They have a terrible mosquito issue during the summer. It's
How about that?
Awful.
Now, I don't know if this is a cramp or not. It kind of looks like it. That's been the injury of the evening. Fitting for the time of year, as we've mentioned, ad nauseum.
But I look like a total idiot trying to figure out how to get some air in there. I'm like, wait a minute.
Did Tanya video you? Did she make a reel or a TikTok or something like that? You know, throw that up there. Look at my husband looking for the air conditioner.
Yeah. I would have deserved it.
Oh, and as expected, the Warriors will line up and go for two. So far, they are 0 for 2 on 2-point conversions. The Tigers would like to make them 0 for 3.
No doubt. 20-18 is the score after the big run from Rich. Here's the 2-point attempt. Trout lines him up. He's got Rich in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, puts the ball in the air, connects with his receiver, but the Tigers are going to bring him down, and they keep the lead 20-18.
Story of the game. I mean, the Tigers missed a PAT, but they have stopped all 3 2-point conversion attempts by the Warriors tonight and have kept the lead. They have not surrendered the lead since they took it with their first touchdown. Big play there from the Tigers. And then, you know, you've got to recover from giving up a big play. That just shows you that this coaching staff is instilling a good culture here. Shake it off and go make the next play because they've gotten gashed twice now. And they made the play. Love it.
You're not a Swiftie, are you, man? You're over here making Taylor Swift references and stuff?
If it shows you how much of a Swiftie I'm not, I had no idea that I just made a, shake it. Yeah. There we go. Gotcha. Unintentional.
Well, you're kind of like the pun master, so I felt for sure that's what you were doing.
I wasn't going there, though. I wasn't. Yeah. Big stop for the Darlington defense, though.
Is that a... Yes, it is.
There's a drone.
There's a drone flying over the stadium right now.
Yeah, I think Coach Grove's saying they use that when they run back tape. They're recording all their plays with the drones.
That's cool.
I think he mentioned that on the show the other day, which I had not heard, but, I mean, why am I surprised? Technology is amazing.
It is.
They've probably got somebody like Dave or Nathan running that for them, you know, these brilliant guys that know how to work all this stuff.
20-18 your score. Darlington leads it. Have you ever seen the Starlink satellites flying over town?
Yes.
I had a friend call me, and like since I work in the media, he thought maybe it was a news story or something. He's like, "What is that in the sky?" I think he thought it was some kind of close encounter or something like that. Here comes the kickoff. It is on the way now from Gaston. It'll drop in. It'll be fielded about the 8-yard line. Talon Showery's got it. Shakes off a couple of guys, but he is going to be hauled out of bounds at around the 16-yard line.
Good coverage that time. Shirey is a dangerous return man. So is Demarion Floyd. But on both attempts that the Tigers have had a chance to return, it's been very sound coverage. That should be spotted at the 20 with forward progress. And that's where Darlington will start their first drive of the second half.
Is that yet another train going by that I hear?
That's train number 5. Good ear, Matt. We finally got an odd number train. Here we go.
Shotgun formation for Konchesky. 2 wide to the near side, 1 on the far side. Sammy getting ready to take the snap. He's got the ball in his hands. Turns. He's going to keep the football and run. And he's going to be hauled out of bounds after a pickup of maybe 4 or 5 yards before they reeled him in and got him out of bounds.
And a good decision there by Konchesky. He keeps the ball. Just get upfield. Get what you can get. That play was really not going to go anywhere. So to pick up 4 or 5 yards there is excellent play.
So Konchesky's going to line up with Demarion Floyd in the backfield. He's going to send 2 wide receivers off to the far side, 1 to the near, working from left to right on your radio dial. Darlington leads at 20-18 early in the second half. They hand it off to Demarion Floyd. We talk about how he's one step away. This is a big run. He gets out of bounds at about the 42-yard line on Darlington's side of the field, and a 20-plus yard run and another first down for the Tigers.
And a big first down. They need to come out and answer that quick strike scoring drive from the Warriors.
Well, about a 15-yard run, rather.
Yeah, good run.
2 wide receivers to the near side, a couple to the far. This is going to be a pistol formation. Konchesky getting ready to take the snap. He's going to send Twyman out to the right side, puts the ball in the air to the left, and connects with a receiver, and he's on the run. It's going to be brought down across the 50, down at around the 46-yard line. Who was the receiver on that? Hendricks Jones?
Yeah.
Good deal. I couldn't catch his number. I got screened. So thanks for the help there. So another Tigers first down. They moved it into Warriors territory here. Good drive going for the Tigers.
Absolutely, and Konchesky looked to his right, went back to his left on that screen pass, and Hendricks Jones did a good job picking up the first down.
2 wide near side, 1 on the far side. Floyd in the backfield. There's the snap. Konchesky turns, sends it to Floyd, and he gets bit by the turf monster, slips, and drops at about the 50.
And I tell you what, it's a lateral when they've been throwing that, and we did see D-Man attempt to pass. He threw one out of bounds earlier, but he's got the option there to run or pass because they're throwing it behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 5 there, though.
Braves are up 4-0 there in the bottom of the 6th, in case you were wanting an update on that.
Chop on.
A couple of receivers on each side. Floyd in the backfield, dropping backs. Konchesky sends it to Talon Shire. He's got a little space, cuts inside. He's up the middle, cuts back to the right. He's on the run, 10-5, and he's dropped it around the 1-yard line. Big-time play for Talon Shire, and the Tigers are on the doorstep.
Yes, they are. Get your playmakers the ball in space. The Tigers have got some guys, and we've got a Warrior on the turf, and guess what, Matt?
It's another
cramp. And a great effort there to make the tackle. That's Alexander Glass that's on the turf, and they're stretching him out as the cramping continues. But Darlington knocking on the door. I'm not sure where they spotted that ball.
Counting cramps is not near as fun as counting trains go by, is
No,
it?
not at all. And we've had more cramps than trains. I do know that. We're on train number 5. This is cramp number 15, I think.
Right now, listen.
So.
I need you to say right now. So what?
Robert Hortman and his family sitting right in front of us tonight. And, of course, Robert was the quarterback on the 1998 state championship Darlington Tigers football team.
Not a much nicer guy around. I had the pleasure to meet him a few times.
Great family. And his dad's a Georgia Tech fan, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like him even more all of a sudden. So he's had a lifetime of suffering.
Which looks like is going to continue for a very long time.
We'll see.
Like
with all the
Jackets are getting lost in the shuffle of all this realignment and everything.
If the ACC can persevere somehow, then maybe they'll maintain some kind of relevancy.
You don't sound convinced of that.
Well, I mean, when your head coach doesn't even know conference realignment's going on. I mean, did you read that?
I did not read that. Yeah, Someone tells me I don't want to read that.
He was unaware of it. Now, his reason was, I'm only focused on Georgia Tech and what matters to Georgia Tech. And I was like, well, in the grand scheme of things, this is pretty important.
That's a pretty big deal.
I mean, are you going to play in the B League, or are you going to play with the big boys?
Exactly.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
All right, so the ball is going to be at the 4-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Tigers, who already lead the ball game by 2. 20-18 is the score with 9:30 left to go in the third quarter. And I'll be honest with you, man, because we started a half an hour early, I thought we might have the game end early today, but it's been kind of a slow-paced game.
Yeah, a lot of cramps, a lot of offense, a lot of passing, so clock keeps stopping.
Okay, I'm corrected. Dr. Hortman is a diehard Tar Heel. I don't know where I came up with that. There's the snap.
D-Man.
And D-Man is going to be in the end zone. Touchdown, Darlington Tigers.
4-yard touchdown run.
So and now we'll have the extra point attempt from Hendricks Jones.
big extra point here. Make it a 9-point game, which would officially make it a 2-possession game.
Here comes the kick. It's on the way, and that one is going to be good. So the score is going to move to 27-18.
Big kick there. Big kick. 9:22 left. A lot of action and very little time here in the third quarter. Both teams have found pay dirt. And Darlington was able to answer the opening scoring drive of the Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors. I'll tell you what a first game. It's been very exciting.
It's been extremely exciting. Tons of action in this football game. And we appreciate you being here, whether you're watching on the video stream or if you're listening live on the radio tonight. It's always a pleasure to bring you the games. And we're looking forward to a fun season here with the Tigers. Again, they'll be at home next week, so nice to have a couple of home games to start this season. I was looking back at series history just to see if these two teams have played each other, and they actually have one time, and that was back in 2012. Darlington lost 42-23 in the season opener on the road. And one of the things that stood out to me about that particular season, I didn't remember this. I know Steve Conrad probably remembers this well. Well, he remembers everything. He's got a steel trap, man. Wish I had that. But anyway, in 2012, according to the Georgia High School Football Historian site, Darlington played 5 straight road games to start the season that year. That's pretty unusual.
2012? That is strange.
That's what it said on their side.
You and I were road warrior vagabonds calling the game of the week back in those days, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Who will Calhoun crush this week?
Exactly.
Tune in Friday night.
Hendricks Jones set to kick it away here for the Tigers. Tigers lead at 27-18 after the score from Demarion Floyd. Kick is on the way, and it gets past him. It's rolling back towards the goal line. He'll pick it up and bring it out. Cuts up towards the middle of the field, and it's going to be brought down around the 12-yard line. He was actually able to make a little bit more out of it than it looked like he was going to for a second. That was dangerous territory there for the Warriors, but not going to have great field position here for sure.
Well, that marks that ball right just shy of the 17-yard line. And that ball hit his foot. These squib kicks that are coming off Jones' footer, they're hard to field. And had he had a harder time handling that one, it could have been disastrous. Did a good job to wrangle it in and get back upfield and pick up what he could. But definitely not the best starting field position. Maybe Darlington can take advantage of that. It'd be great to get a 3-and-out here for this Darlington defense.
2 wide receivers on each side here for the Warriors. They start at the 10-yard line, getting ready for the snap, or 17 rather. Aiden Trout, the quarterback. He's got Rich in the backfield with him. Already broke 2 big plays for touchdowns in this game, and he's got a seam this time. Thankfully, they closed the door quick enough, but he still gets a good chunk of yards.
8.5 yards there on first down. You'll take that all night long.
So 2nd down and 2 here for the Warriors. Ball's on the 25-yard line. Rich remains in the backfield here with Trout. Going to send 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near. And Trout takes the snap, turns, looking to throw. He's going to put it in the air. Nope. He's got company in the backfield getting chased around. He's going to tuck and run and slide down at about the 30-yard line, Ian. That's a first down.
Yeah, they only needed 1.5 yards. That time the coverage was great downfield. Darlington couldn't get home and get the sack. But Trout was able to just get upfield and not risk injury. He got down and protected himself.
2 wide receivers on the far side, 1 on the near here for Trout, and Rich is in the backfield. He gets ready to take the snap here on 1st and 10, turns, hands it off to Rich, runs it off towards the right side, and he's got 3 Tigers on him, and they bring him down. Good defensive stop there for the Darlington Tigers that time.
Yeah, I believe Sam 20 led the charge there. As Rich cut up. Oh, yeah, it was 20, and it was Sam Wooten as well. Sam slams right there.
Second down to 9 here for the Warriors. 7:41 left in the third. Darlington leads at 27-18. Two wide receivers to the near side, including Christopher Cook, who's one of his favorite targets for Trout. Trout ready to take the snap. He turns, is going to fire to the near side, connects with number 5, Linkus is his name, and he's brought down. I saw a flag come out too.
Let's see what the call is here. Darlington can get this Warriors offense operating behind the chains. That's certainly an advantage. It's in the area of an illegal block. Hold. There we go.
On the offense.
Yeah.
So this one's coming back. Official picks up the flag, and now they'll march off the penalty yards.
Yeah, yep, and it was pretty blatant there. Sam 20 was trying to get over and make the tackle and was absolutely hogtied. But it's a spot foul, so they'll march it off from the spot of the penalty, and that'll back them up to about 2nd and 14, looks like, maybe 13.
Well, this may not be well timed after the conversation that we just had about Georgia Tech, but you can listen to select games of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets this year on WLAQ.
I think Brent Key can get something. It's the ACC, man. It's not like they can't win in that conference. Schedule's not that bad.
Here's the snap on 2nd and long. Quarterback's going to put a screen in the air towards Rich. It goes off his hands, and a man falls on the football. That was dangerous territory.
It was. Set up the screen. He really put a lot of air under that one. Rich just couldn't quite pull it in, and now you've got a 3rd and long. We have not seen Darlington bring a lot of pressure, and that's because this passing offense gets the ball out super quick. So you're putting yourself at a disadvantage unless you bring the pressure from the right spot, but they have not gotten home for a sack tonight. Neither team has registered a sack.
4 wide set, 3 on the far side, 1 on the near side. Trout getting ready to take the snap. He's got Rich in the backfield with him for this 3rd down and 13. He drops back, looking to throw, has a pretty clean pocket, ball in the air, wobbly pass, it's intercepted. The Darlington Tigers have the football. They're going to have great field position, trying to catch the number of the man who grabbed the ball. And I think it was Wooten.
Yeah, Sam Wooten.
Yep. Sam Wooten came out with that. No. Here we go.
I can't see
Trying to get that number, folks. We want to get this call right. It wasn't Wooten.
Duggan, maybe?
It was number 20. Oh, we're screened by the logo.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, was it Timmy Smith? Or was it Noah Duggan? I couldn't see on the replay.
We'll see if we can get a check on that in a couple of moments. We were just about to get a look at it, and the logo.
It was Duggan.
Oh, it was Duggan. Okay, good deal.
Yes. Yeah, Noah Duggan.
All right, so the Tigers are in business.
First turnover of the game.
1st down and 10. Tigers have got it at the 30-yard line in Warriors territory as they get ready to go here with 6:53 left to go in the 3rd.
And the Warriors had to call a timeout. They didn't have the right personnel or formation. They burned their first time out of the half.
And we're going to burn one as well. Glad you're with us tonight on WLAQ and also the Darlington School live stream. We'll step out. We'll be back in 30 seconds. With you live and glad to be with you tonight here from Chris Hunter Stadium. 6:53 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Darlington leads this one at home 27-18. It's opening night here at Chris Hunter. Going to be here next week as well as Sonoraville comes calling the Phoenix. And the Darlington Tigers season off to a good start, but still a lot of football to play here in this one.
Big opportunity here. First turnover of the game, and Darlington will start their 2nd drive of the half on the 30-yard line of the Warriors.
2 wide receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side. Konchesky takes the snap, turns, is going to hand it off to Demarion Floyd. Stutter steps, cuts to the near side, and he's going to be hauled out of bounds. At around the 23, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 6 or 7 yards. And I'm telling you, man, he's, he hasn't broken the big one yet, but, man, he just gets every yard he can get every time he touches the ball. You either have to get to him immediately or he's going to get positive yardage.
Demarion Floyd, in addition to being a great football player, is also an awesome basketball player as well, if you hadn't seen him play. There's the snap, going to hand it off to Floyd. He's dropped. No, the ball is handed off. Ball's on the way towards the end zone, and he catches it. My goodness, number 13, Aiden Davis with the grab. Who threw that ball?
It was back to Konchesky, but I'm afraid that was a lateral. There was a legal lateral there. The defense kind of blew that trick play up. So I think that one's going to come back. I should have watched the replay again, but yeah, Aiden Davis made the catch, but I'm pretty sure one of those pitches was a forward pass and couldn't be there. Couldn't have a backward lateral. I'm not sure. It just looked a little funky.
All right, well, back to the drawing board. It is going to be third down and a mile.
If you thought the trick plays were gone because Brent Bell wasn't calling the plays here anymore, you were sorely mistaken. We've seen a few.
Indeed, we have. So the Tigers line up with third down and 22 to go. Ball is at the 42-yard line. Dropping back is Konchesky. He's going to dump it to Talon Shirey. He's got some room to run, running down the sidelines. He's going to be knocked out of bounds. A flag comes in.
Face mask or horse collar, one of the two.
Hey, get Glass out of the game because he's not playing the right technique. Get him out. I don't care if Pro Life plays. Get Glass out.
6:17 left to go here in the third. Darlington leads at 27-18. And I know that you're getting some commentary here from the coaches next to us. Not really much we can do about that.
That's right.
There is a partition there, but not enough to muffle that.
Live sports, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll tack on some yardage at the end of the run, and Darlington has a chance to take control of this game.
But they're using suitable language for
yes,
broadcast.
They are.
So that
they are. We've heard more colorful language before.
We certainly have.
Yes, we have.
All right. So the ball is on the 11-yard line. It's now 1st and 10 for the Tigers, so they got a great opportunity here. Sammy Konchesky is going to send Demarion Floyd to the right. He's going to run off to the left, and now he runs towards the 10-yard line, cuts down at about the 4-yard line before they haul him in.
Yeah, good pursuit there. He had one man to beat, but he had the angle and did a good job containing Konchesky, who has been very elusive. That was number 15, Peyton Smith, making the tackle.
So now the ball is on the 3-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 2.
Henry Ledbetter coming out.
Sammy Konchesky at quarterback. It's going to be a power set here for the Tigers. Konchesky takes the snap. He's going to dive towards the end zone. He's in, standing up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers have another touchdown. Flags are flying. Getting a little chippy there in the end zone.
Yeah. When Konchesky got in, he kind of stood over the guy he flattened when he went across the goal line. I don't know if you can do that, so we'll see. We'll see how this shakes out.
3-yard touchdown run there for Sammy Konchesky, whose dad has been the head football coach at Berry ever since the team's inception.
How many seasons has he been there now?
I'm saying it's got to be 10 or so. I don't know.
Yeah, just built a great program over there.
Man.
A lot of people were iffy about Berry having a football program, but he sure has made them a success.
And he's a heck of a nice guy, too. Always have enjoyed my interactions with Tony Konchesky over the years.
3 times. Hey, twice at least. Twice at least I've called Black and he's failed.
I'll tell you what, we'll see what they call here, but I imagine this is going to be offsetting. But I think Darlington drew first blood in that exchange.
5:24 left to go in the ball game right now. Darlington leads at 33-18. Second game in series history taking place tonight here at Chris Hunter Stadium. Official giving his signals here in terms of the penalties.
It looks like everything's against Darlington. It's what I saw anyway. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be assessed on the kickoff. Darlington might be kicking off from the goal line.
It's just the first game, you know?
Yeah.
Extra point attempt coming up here from Hendricks Jones. He's nailed the last few. Let's put the Darlington Tigers on top, 34-18, if he can punch it through. Hold's going to be handled by Sammy Konchesky, the quarterback. And we get ready for the snap here in just a couple of moments. Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show. Probably going to start right on time tonight.
I know, all our talk.
I know, it's crazy. A little bit of discussion here before we get ready for this extra point.
Well, they've got to sort out the 700 yards and penalties that just occurred. So
another flag comes in. No, he was just tossing it to the official. I was like, dang, what's going on now?
Is that my flag or is it yours?
I just saw it in there.
Yeah.
I didn't see where it came from.
Yeah.
All right, now we'll get ready for the extra point. We've had some, well, here we go. Kick is on the way, and that one looks to be through. It is. So 34-18 is your score.
Excellent.
And now the cheerleaders running by with the Tigers flags, with the Tiger paw at the end there. It's a Friday night here at the Lakeside. Great place to be. We'll give you some score updates on some other games as we go along here.
Yeah, I've got one. Rome is now leading 7-0 in the first quarter. Pickens County leaves Sonoraville 21-14 in the third. Blessed Trinity and Calhoun all tied up.
Really?
7-7. According to ScoreStream, we'll have to ask Mr. Gable. Armurchie up 28-zip at the half. Cartersville up 27 at the half. Tryon now rolling like we thought they would, 35-7 over Gordon Lee. Coosa still up 21-3. Dade County trailing Athens 14-0 at the half. That's a Dade County team that was really good last year. I don't know what they brought back, but they're a team to keep an eye on in this region. And Chattooga still down 14-3. We'll keep those scores coming.
Ian, it's interesting because last year the Darlington Tigers were known for a lot of things. One of those things was high-powered offense. They scored 38 points a game last year, and right now they got 34 on the board, and we're not even in the fourth quarter of this football game.
And the Braves are still up 4-zip. Bottom of the seventh now, they've got 2 on, 2 out, so maybe they'll add to that.
Yeah, I haven't been down to Truist Park this year to take in a ball game. I'll have to get down there before the season's over at some point. We got some good homestands coming up. I think towards the end of September they host the Cubs, I want to say. Anyway.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. Cubs are red hot.
Another squib off the boot of Hendricks Jones. That one takes a funny bounce into the hands of Rich. He cuts out towards the far side and now cuts inside and is going to be dropped around the 38-yard line. That was a heavy hit right there.
It was. Who got him? It was
I think it was Aiden Davis.
Yeah, Aiden Davis.
Yep.
And Davis, because of a funky exchange, was robbed of a touchdown, but the Tigers still punched it in on that drive.
So the Warriors are going to start at their own 38-yard line as they begin their next drive.
And Luke Parker is getting loose over here on the sideline, so we may see him get a little action on Darlington's next possession.
Pistol formation, 2 wide set on each side here for Trout. He gets ready to take the snap. Looks off to the sidelines. It looks like they may change the play here at the line of scrimmage. He'll back up. Here comes the snap. Quarterback drops, looks to his right, fires, and connects with a wide receiver who takes a heavy hit. I think Talon Shirey lowered the boom on the sidelines over there to that young man. Wide receiver, I believe, was Peyton Smith. Unless I'm badly mistaken, he picked up about 4 or 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, just a little curl route there. And They really need to get something cooking here if they're going to climb back in this game.
Man motions back towards the line of scrimmage. 2 wide on the near side, 1 on the far side as we get ready for Trout. By the way, preseason action going with the Falcons. Right now, they trail the Bengals 6-3.
I sold my tickets to that game for a whopping $16 a piece.
I went to one preseason game, and that was enough for me. There's the snap. They hand it off to Rich.
Fumble.
And the ball's out. It looks like the Tigers are signaling they've come up with it.
Sam
and
Wooten.
a flag comes out as well. So we'll see what that's all about here in a couple of moments. But that would be the second turnover.
And it was Sam Wooten that recovered it, and it was Sam 20 that stripped it. Sam Sandwich, man, they're working it out there. Gang tackling, causing fumbles. Let's see what the call is here, but I don't think the flag had anything to do with the fumble. It was a clean strip and recovery.
And Sam Wooten, coming up with the fumble recovery, as you referenced, made a great catch earlier in the football game as well. So you caught a lot of names tonight.
No doubt about
a lot
it.
of guys contributing to this effort. So this is a good start for the Darlington Tigers to the season.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man, we have had a lot of stoppage in play here as the officials are sorting yet another situation out here at midfield.
So 2 things we've learned tonight. If you get an early start to the game and you start talking about, well, we'll get home a little bit early this evening, don't say that if that's what you want to happen. And then at the same time, don't make references about bragging about the air conditioner, because as soon as you do that, it's going out.
Right. It did get a little muggy in here for a while.
It did, but it's good now.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right where we want it to be.
4:52 left to go here in the third quarter of this ball game that started at 7 o'clock. So we're 2.5 hours into this affair at this point, and the Darlington Tigers lead at 34-18 here at home.
And I'm dying to know what the heck is going on out here. Let's see. Okay, so Darlington has possession of the ball. Obviously, there was some unsportsmanlike stuff going on out there once again, so that'll move them back. But they will take over, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties once again. So emotions are flying high out there.
Well, it's an emotional sport, you know.
It is. 3 touchdowns for Konchesky tonight, correct?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I have on my sheets. It's, I hate to admit this. Konchesky's have been here for a while, but I've spelled it differently all 3 times, trying to put it on the sheet because we're writing kind of quick when we're trying to make our notes here.
All right, and I do believe that Luke Parker is out there at quarterback.
Going to have a wide receiver to the near side, 1 on the far side. I believe you're right. That is number 3, Luke Parker. And he is going to send 2 wide receivers off to the far side. One of them is going to be Bodie Powers. The other one's Talon Chowry, I believe. Nope, that's not Talon Chowry. That's Aiden Davis. And then one to the near side. So we'll get ready to get a look at Luke Parker. I believe this is the second time we've seen him in the game so far this evening.
He's 1 for 1. He completed the only pass that he attempted. I think it was about a 7-yard hook that he hit in the first half.
So he'll line him up in the gun. Here's the snap. Parker turns, is going to hand it off to Marion Floyd, bounces off to his right, and being chased by a couple of defenders, cuts back inside, trying to find a seam, and it's not there, and he's going to be knocked down to the turf.
I know he only gained a yard, but that's the old L2 button on the original NCAA football. I mean, that was beautiful. Just a little side shimmy from D-Man Floyd. I'm glad I'm not out there trying to tackle him.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Make you look silly. Two wide receivers to the far side, one to the near, and Parker's dropping back, looking to throw, and he is going to be taking the sack. Number 30 comes in. That's J.C. Blevins and brings him to the turf for a pretty significant loss on that play.
Yeah, first sack of the game. Parker was he was wanting to take the deep shot, wasn't there, and then by the time he got a chance to reload, he was in a lot of trouble. J.C. Blevins brings him to the turf. First sack of the night for either team.
A couple of wide receivers going to be to the far side, a couple to the near. This is going to be third down and a long way to go here for the Tigers. Parker drops back, looking to throw, gets it to Shirey, and he is greeted by one of the players from the Warriors, number 24, Maddox Mazingo, right away.
And you heard the defensive coaches here calling that play out. They knew what was coming. That time they defended it well. Try to get that tunnel screen going.
So we've got 3:22 left and the clock ticking here in the third quarter with Darlington leading this one 34-18. And now they're going to have to punt the football away. 4th and 14 from the 25 coming up. Punted away is going to be Talon Shirey.
He's coming. That was a good series. That's the series we need.
Back here for the Warriors to try to return the kick is going to be Christopher Cook. He's standing at the 40-yard line on the opposite side of the field. They'll be working from right to left. Here's the snap to Shirey. He puts the ball in the air. Nice kick. That's going to drop into the hands of Cook, and he will signal the fair catch at the 39-yard line.
So the turnover is no harm, no foul. If you are a Warriors fan, that ball was scooped up on the 40, but after two unsportsmanlike penalties, Darlington had to start that drive back in their own territory. Couldn't do anything with it. And what could have been the death nail was not. And I would say Christian Academy of Knoxville, if they can go score here, they have the opportunity to climb back in this game.
2:42 left to go in the third quarter, and it just feels like the game is just moving at a very, very slow pace. But we get ready for the Warriors to line up here on 1st down and 10. Ball is at the 39-yard line as they set up shop. Trips to the far side, one to the near. Trout ready to take the snap here for the Warriors. He's going to look to throw, fakes, and now he gets pummeled. Lower in the boom right there for the Tigers is going to be Jaron Payne. What a hit. My goodness.
Man, that looked like the inflatable Tiger deflating when he came down on top of Trout, coming off the edge untouched, and just drives him to the turf. So after no sacks all night, both teams registered one in the last few plays. Big play there by Payne.
You know his Papa's proud. Seeing those footsteps. My goodness, boy. He got all over him and quick. Trout takes the snap. He drops back looking to throw here on 2nd and long after taking the sack. Puts it up the middle of the field, and that's going to be, did he get it?
Incomplete. No, it was definitely hit the turf.
Braves are up 4-0 in the bottom of the 8th, by the way.
Go Bravos. You know, they haven't allowed. That means they haven't allowed it. They shut the Yankees out the last two games, so they haven't allowed a run. If they can get through the 9th inning, that's 3 straight games.
Wow. Two wide receivers on either side of the formation. Rich is in the backfield here with Trout. We get ready for the snap. Taking time between plays. The play clock's down to 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's going to be a delay of game, Ian. Didn't get the snap off.
Did they call a timeout?
Delay of game.
Yeah, wow.
Play clock was winding down, didn't snap the ball, so it's going to be a 5-yard penalty and even longer to go here for the Warriors on 3rd down.
Yeah. I think Darlington thought they got a timeout. They were all walking off to the sidelines, but
turns out not to be the case. 1:49 left to go in the third quarter. Darlington 34. Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors 18. Trout ready to take the snap. He's got it in his hands, dropping back. Look, he's got pressure, and he's going to take another sack. Coming in is going to be big man number 52, Evan Parton.
Evan Parton, a freshman. That's a big freshman. Getting in there, making a play. Was it 52 or was that 50?
It looks like 52 to me.
Yeah.
He's fired up, too. He should be. That was a nice play.
Yeah, it's 52.
Yeah.
Way to make a play, freshman. Love it.
We're going to have a punt here from the Warriors.
Should set up great field position. Hendricks Jones and Talon Shirey back to return the punt.
Colby Stokely to kick it away, I believe is who that is. The kick is on the way. A spiraling kick is going to drop in, and it's going to roll backwards, takes a Warriors bounce. It'll be fielded by Hendricks Jones, who tries to cut up the middle of the field, shakes off a defender, and then is immediately dropped after that at about the 29-yard line.
And that worked out well for the Warriors. Looked like Darlington was going to have great field position, but line drive kick took a fortuitous hop, and they'll start this one right at the 30-yard line.
So the Tigers trot their offense back out on the field, and it looks like Sammy Koncheski is back out there. Last possession we saw Luke Parker. And it's been mostly Koncheski tonight, but we've seen Luke out there a couple of different occasions. Wide receivers on either side. Everybody else is on in tight. In the backfield's going to be Demarion Floyd. They'll turn, hand it off to, nope, that's not Demarion. That's going to be Miles Twyman. He's got some room to run. He's at the 50 across midfield. Cuts inside at the 40, the 30, the 25, and inside the 20 down at the 18-yard line. Big-time run from Miles Twyman.
That's the longest run of Miles Twyman's short career here at Darlington. Heck of a play there. He looked like he was going to get gobbled up in the backfield, cut back outside, cut back inside, and then turned on the jets. Took that one all the way down to the 20-yard line. Darlington has a chance. If they score here, that should do it.
Yeah. So now the Darlington Tigers are going to get lined up right at the red zone. 1st and 10, 25 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. So we're going to see one more play here in the quarter perhaps, and then get ready for the final quarter.
Call a timeout, I think. Yeah.
15 seconds, now down to about 12.
They took the delay.
And a delay of game.
And now they'll come out. Once they set the ball, I believe that'll run the quarter out. Yep.
9.3 seconds left here in the third quarter. Tigers have 34-18.
It was a long third quarter.
It really was.
It was a really long third quarter.
It's 9:37. This game started at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And by the time we get to the end of the game, it's going to be a 3-hour game for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you ready for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School Football Scoreboard Show with Lynn Butler and Austin Butler, father-son team. Appreciate those guys. Looking forward to seeing what they have to say about tonight's action, given scores and some of the calls they'll take tonight. Y'all light up the phone lines tonight. Call 706-232-7767 and chime in on the Scoreboard Show. Keep those guys company. They enjoy your calls.
Yeah. Hopefully Jeff Gable, give him a buzz. Give us the breakdown. It looks like you got a barn burner there. A little defensive battle. 7-7 is what I'm seeing. So.
Football on a Friday night. We're at the lakeside. All right. So the Tigers will run back out onto the field. And we got 9.3 seconds left here in the third quarter of the football game. Sammy Koncheski lines him up. Gets ready to take the snap. He's got it in his hands, dropping back, looking to throw, puts it up the middle of the field. He's open, and it's a touchdown. Making the grab is Sam Wooten. And with 9.3 seconds, they elect to run a play, throw it up the middle of the field, and score with 3.4 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Didn't see that coming.
No, not at all. It took their shot, and it was wide open. I don't think the Warriors saw it coming either. And for Wooten, he had a great catch and came up just shy with his shoulder going down at the one earlier, so it's good to see him get to the end zone. He's got a fumble recovery as well, and now Sammy Koncheski has contributed to 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 through the air.
And here comes the point after attempt from Jones, and it is going to be through, and we got a 41-18 ball game. And there's been a lot of contributors to the game tonight, but we probably got a pretty, I wouldn't say an easy decision, but it seems pretty clear at this point who is going to be our first Honeymoon Bakery icing on the cake player of the game. Not that we want to kill the suspense, but what a game.
Well, at this point, we're probably going to have to rush to make sure we get to the scoreboard show on time. So, it's barring something strange, though, I think we figured that out.
So 3.4 seconds left on the clock.
Hey, our EMT is getting after the push-ups. He's got to do 41 of them.
My goodness.
Impressive. He looks like he's in pretty good shape, He's hanging in there. He's got to save people's lives. Got to be in shape to do that.
I'd have a lot of work to do at this point.
I know.
To get to where I could do that. Man. And, I mean,
He's
good form and everything, too.
He's
not cheating on those push-ups.
No, he's not. I think we ought to send Dave Corbin down when they score the next touchdown. What do you think?
You ready?
You ready to do 48 on the next score? We're volunteering you for the 48. It's been that kind of night.
So the Darlington Tigers will tee it up. Hendrick Jones to put the boot on it and send it back to the Warriors, who are really in a tight spot now, down 41-18 with 3.4 seconds left to go on the clock here in the third quarter of the football game. Steve Conrad said the MT may need an EMT. There's a line drive, bounces off of Rich. He picks it up, though, and cuts up towards the middle of the field. Now goes to the left, and they're going to pull him down. A nice stop there by Aiden Davis, Ian.
Yeah, we're calling his name a lot tonight. And that does it. That's the third quarter.
And an eventful one it was, and a very long one. So we're going to take a break here on WLAQ. We're glad you're with us. Tigers on top, 41-18. We get ready for the final quarter of the football game after these messages on WLAQ and the live stream. In time to go on there. We're glad to have you with us. We've had a couple of little technical issues that have come up, and but that's kind of par for the course for the first night of the season. We'll get all that stuff ironed out. But we're ready to play some football, starting the final 12 minutes of the game, and lining up are going to be the Warriors, and they will open up the final quarter with possession of the football, trailing 41-18.
We got a penalty
and a penalty right out of the gate. Yeah. So that's going to back them up 5 yards before we even get started here with this position. So first down and 15 here for the Warriors as we get ready to go. Ball now on the 25-yard line. And quarterback gets ready to take the snap. Is Trout still out there? Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is.
They're going to hand it off, and they go to Rich, and he gets some of the penalty yards back, and then maybe +1. So I think this is going to set up, a 2nd and 9 perhaps? We'll see where they spot this.
Gave him 5.
So 2nd and 10, rather.
Speaking of Rich, how you feeling about Rich Rod in his second season? Is his second?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sure enough. Yeah, looking forward to it, man. The Jacksonville State Gamecocks now in Conference USA, so it's going to be a different looking schedule, and we'll see what happens. Excited about it. Here comes the snap. Trout is going to hand it off. They go up the middle, and Tigers are there.
Yeah,
ready to pounce.
McKay Rush was right in on that one. Henry Ledbetter back there. Jack Chandler just gang tackling. Great push there by the defensive line.
And when we get to the Coach Grove show on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we're going to have a lot to talk about with the coach, aren't we?
Yeah, no doubt about it. Big question mark for this team was not the skill players. It was the line of scrimmage, and I've been impressed tonight.
They've done a great job, done a fantastic job. And, of course, they've had some players from other positions like McKay Rush that's converted.
Henry Ledbetter, he was lining up a quarterback last year. He's had a whale of a game off the edge.
4 wide receivers, 3 on the right. There's the snap. Quarterback is going to have to pick the ball up off the turf after a bad snap. Now it's going to fire, connects with a wide receiver. That was a dart that he threw to number 9, Sturchie, and made a nice grab and picked up a first down.
Kept the drive alive there.
So 10:23 left in the ball game. Darlington leading at 41-18, and it is now going to be 1st and 10 here for the Warriors. They're going to have 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 on the far side. There's the snap.
Rich gets about 2 or 3 yards there, running off tackle. Timmy Smith on the tackle.
Ball is at the 47-yard line. We get ready for 2nd down and 8, and I didn't pick up on this, but I just got a message, and we were just talking about McKay. He's actually in a boot on the sidelines.
Oh, really?
The coach had a lot of nice things to say about him in the show this week. There's the pass. It's going to go to the near side and hauled out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Is going to be Alexander Glass.
Yeah. I didn't see there. Is that not him trotting out there? 55.
Nope, that's Connor
Ellison. Yeah. When did Rush go down?
I don't know. Shotgun formation, 2 wide receivers on the far side and 1 on the near. And they'll turn and hand the ball off, go up the middle. And they get a good chunk of yards there, 6 or 7 yards. And, of course, some number changes this year. So we're still kind of adjusting our brains and getting everybody's numbers and whatnot. So you have to bear with us on that.
Right. I want to know the story behind Konchesky and D-Man's switch, because D-Man was 2 last year and Konchesky was 6, so they swapped.
2nd down and 4. We get ready for Aiden Trout to take another snap here from the 37-yard line. They drop back, hand it off, and they will cut out towards the left side. Boy, he's got some wheels. And now he's inside the 20 all the way down to about the 15. That was number 31, Braden Romines. We've seen him carry the ball a couple of times in this game.
Yeah, he's had a few good carries.
That was a good run. Now they got it inside the 20 down at around the 15-yard line. Are they playing Star Wars music? Yeah, I believe they are. Very nice. Ball's at the 18, 1st and 10, 7:56 left to go here in the ball game. Darlington with a big lead. They're going to hand it off. Romines with it again. He's going to be spun around and dropped at around the 12. Romines. So that brings up 2nd down and 5 here for the Warriors with 7:35 left to go in the ball game.
So they continue to pound the rock a little bit more than they have throughout the game as it winds down. Nearing the 7-minute mark.
Aiden Trout set to take the snap. He's got Romines back in the backfield with him. 2 wide receivers to the near side, 1 on the far. They're going to go right back to the same young man. Again, this time he's up the middle of the field. They got him by his jersey and bring him down at about the 2 or 3 yard line. I thought he was getting in.
I did too. He did not want to be denied. Tell you what, Matt, what are you going to do with the rest of your weekend?
You know, I'm going to take it easy. It's been a really long week. It's been a fun and exciting week, but we've added some extra things this week that have required a lot of extra time and effort to try to get in order, and I think I'm just going to take it easy, to be honest with you. There's the snap. They're going to fake the run and throw it, and into the end zone he goes after making the grab. That's Sturchy.
So the Warriors get on the board and will undoubtedly go for 2.
If the trend continues to be true, I believe you'll be correct. And you are correct, sir.
They are 0 for 3. Can Darlington make them 0 for 4? Six minutes, 34 seconds left in this ball game. It was 20-12 at halftime. Darlington has been dominant in the second half.
Here comes the snap, and they will hand it off, and that is going to be a denied opportunity there for Mr. Rich. He stopped around the goal line. He's already made his way into the end zone a couple of times in this football game.
But 0 for 4 on the 2-point conversions.
That's right. That's a good stat.
That is a great stat.
6:34 left to go in the ball game, 41-24.
That's right. We can go into next week saying that Darlington has not allowed a point after conversion all season.
That's got to be some kind of record, you know.
So
to have a team that goes for 4 2-point conversions in one game at the start of the season.
Yeah, pretty crazy. Now, will they try an onside kick and try to scribe? I mean, why not, right?
Never know. Well, we got the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show coming up, and it's not going to start at 10 o'clock.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. If Darlington recovers here, should move pretty quick the rest of the way.
I want to take another opportunity to thank our radio sponsors, Atrium Health Floyd, Avery Drugs, Embry Painting, a new one with us this year, Georgia Northwestern Technical College, Harbin Clinic, Honeymoon Bakery, and the icing on the cake player of the game, Riverside Auto Group, Rome Orthopedic Center, and Ware Mechanical. Big supporters of high school athletics.
And we appreciate them because without them, we wouldn't be sitting up here. So thank you for your support. And we're looking forward to another great season of Darlington football. I think it's safe to say that the Wayne Groves era is going to start with a W.
Look what they're doing to us right now. Well, doing to us,
you
doing
know,
to the
faces
people that are
for
watching
radio.
at home. Exactly.
Faces for radio.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. You just lost all your viewers in like 5 seconds. 6:34 left to go in this football game. Darlington 41.
In other news, YouTube crashed last night.
Exactly. Here comes the kick. That's going to be end over end. Sailing towards the end zone will be brought out around the 1-yard line. Talon Shire's going to field that one. Cuts up towards the near side, trying to find some room. Nice stiff arm. Stays up and gets down to, I want to say, about the 19-yard line before they bring him down.
Been really good special teams coverage all night from the Warriors. Darlington has 2 very dangerous return men.
What are you going to do this weekend? I didn't return the question.
Man, you know, Matt, I spent some time with my boys, but I got a gig tomorrow night, so it's a busy weekend. Just working man, even on the weekends these days.
Got you.
Doing things I love, though.
There you go. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Everybody else is going to be in tight as we get ready for Luke Parker to take the snap. This time it's his 3rd trip out to the field. Here is a pass, so it's going to be batted down. And I think the player...
surprised to see the ball in the air. It was a safe pass, though.
All right, so the ball remains at the 19-yard line, bringing up 2nd down and 10. Parker in at quarterback for Kincheski and the Darlington Tigers. 2 wide receivers on the far side. There's the snap. Parker turns. He's going to hand it off. Miles Twyman with a nice stutter step. He's up, cuts up the middle of the field, and across the 35-yard line. He's having a heck of a game.
I know. I got a text from his mama saying Miles is having a great game on his birthday.
Oh,
so happy
wow.
birthday, Miles. And while they're at Duke with their daughter, who is going to be cheering for the Blue Devils this year. So
that's fantastic. Pistol formation. They're going to fake the pass, hand it off. Miles Twyman with it again. He gets across the 40 this time, so another big pickup. Picked up 6 yards this time. He's another one of those players we referenced earlier that looks like he's been hitting the weights pretty hard. He's
bulked up
gained
a lot.
Some strength.
Yeah.
He's going to have a great year, no doubt about it. He's having a good game here tonight.
He's got to be close to 100 yards after that big run earlier in the quarter.
2 wide receivers to the near side. Parker set to take the snap. He's got it. Hands it right back to Miles Twyman. Gets a good push up front. He's across the 50 and down to about the 43-yard line before they reel him in. It's another Darlington Tigers first down. And they've given a heavy dose of Miles Twyman on this drive, and he's moved him across midfield into Warriors territory. They probably get tired of me telling this story, but there was a time where Miles' dad used to work at the radio station we're on tonight, WLAQ, back when he was in high school. Here's the snap, and they will hand it off, run it off to the near side, and he's going to be dropped at about the 24-yard line.
Another first down, though.
So the Tigers are moving the chains and threatening again here in this ball game as time winds down to just under 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the ball game.
Yeah. Draining what's left of the clock and sending the Tiger fans home happy. That's always a good thing.
Absolutely. And again, Tigers will be here next week, Ian, to host Sonoraville, the Phoenix. Denver Pate, coach of that team, former Pepperell Dragon.
They barely got that one off.
They go back to Duggan on this particular snap, and he gets across the 30 all the way down to about the 27, I'm going to guess. And he'll get up from the pile. Another hard run from him. Great effort, great team effort from the Darlington Tigers tonight.
They'll get a test next week. We know Sonoraville has some guys. Ridge Red no longer there.
Yeah.
He's moved on. I think he's playing. Is he Kennesaw State?
Did he go to Jacksonville State?
Yeah, that sounds right.
He's a Gamecock.
Yeah. So they lost a few weapons, but they usually bring some serious athletes to the table. And like you said, a little rivalry there between Coach Pate and Coach Groves.
Here's the snap to Parker. He is going to fake the handoff and run, and they get him immediately at about the 30. Clock ticking, though. 3:15 left to go in the ball game.
And I think Darlington will be content to just keep pounding the rock and running that clock.
Absolutely. And I'm looked at the schedule ahead of time this time. The game will be at 7:30 next week.
Next week? Okay,
yeah.
7:30.
So we'll be back to our normal, regular schedule next week.
All right.
Here comes the snap to Parker. Sends a couple of wide receivers, one on each side. He's going to run to the near side, and he is going to be spun around and dropped about a yard or two.
And a flag on the play. It's going to be a hold.
Just getting the season started tonight here at Chris Hunter Stadium. Hope everybody's having a good time enjoying the broadcast tonight on the video stream, or if you're listening on the radio.
Braves win 4-0. Third straight shutout.
Fantastic.
Fourth straight win.
We're going to have the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game awarded directly after the game tonight.
And I'm going to leave the scores alone for the boys back in the studio, but there are some developments Matt might like. Southeast Whitfield has come all the way back to take the lead.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus Trinity's up 10, though, so.
Okay.
Could be a wash.
There's the snap. Parker's going to hand it off, and hit immediately is going to be Miles Twyman, brought down to the turf. He's had some really, really good runs in this ball game.
Yes, he has. Good night.
We're under 2 minutes to play now in the fourth quarter with Darlington leading 41-24. Back out on the field for the Tigers, Jake Trebus for this package. Also lined up at wide receiver is going to be Jace Donaldson, the sophomore. Parker in at quarterback here for the Tigers. He gets ready to take the snap, dropping back, looking to throw, put some air under this one, got an open man, he grabs it. Guess who it is? Yep, it's Sam Wooten with another grab, and he's in the end zone. My goodness, what a play.
Absolutely. Didn't see that one coming.
Dang.
Little play action with 1.5 minutes left in the ball game. I mean, you know what? Let the man sling it around the yard. Luke Parker put that one on the money. And Sam Wooten has found his way down behind the defense 3 times now.
That was a heck of a grab.
It really was.
Well, we're learning some names tonight, aren't we?
And another train.
Another train going by. We're getting 6.
How many is that? Is that 6 trains?
Yeah. We'll get the official tally here in a minute, but I think you're right, Mr. Corbin.
Heck yeah.
All right, here comes the PA attempt. Different number here. This is on the way, and it is going to be through for Mr. Timothy Anthony. Nope. Tochukwu Obaiaho. Oha, excuse me. Sorry. So 48-24 is the score. It's good with 1:30 left to go in the ball game.
What an opening game. What a great showing to start a new era of Darlington football.
Indeed, man. Unbelievable start for Coach Groves and this new squad.
And Dave, you going to run down and do the 48 push-ups?
Go.
Got to get Dave down there. It's your time. He's going to let some young man do it. Smart move. Smart move.
It's 10:01. You're listening to WLAQ AM 1410, 96.9 FM, Rome, Georgia. A little legal ID there for the folks listening on the radio. And you're also watching on the live stream. We're back on the screen again.
Yep, they want you to do the push-ups, Matt.
Oh,
yep.
Good luck with that. I've had plenty of times in my life where I put myself out there and
not going to do the push-ups?
Not going to do that one.
Okay. All right.
Not doing that one. We got 1:30 left to go in the ball game. The ball's going to be teed up from Obi Oha.
Obi Oha.
That sounds right to me. Obi Oha. Sorry about that. It's the
Tochukwu
first
Obi
game.
Oha.
We've got some names to work on.
Names and numbers.
Names and numbers, and teams that people like or don't like. That is going to be a squib that rolls off to the left side and goes out of bounds. Flag comes out, obviously, as it was out of bounds. But you know what? It's our first game this year, too.
That's right. That's right.
So
we
bear with us.
Like everyone, we strive to get better
That's
week
right.
after week.
We do.
Game after game.
Now they're singing the alma mater. Were you ever able to do that at any of your schools you went to?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I can still sing the Rome High alma mater if you really wanted me to. I know the words. I do. UNC Charlotte, not so much.
Gotcha. $1:30 left to go in this ball game. It's 10:03. Game started at 7 o'clock, so we've got a 3-hour-plus ball game. But it's been a great 3 hours because the Darlington Tigers are on top 48-24. There's the snap to Trout. He's going to hand it off. Hard run and hard hit from the defense. My goodness.
Rude awakening there. I'm going to see if I can score who was on the hit. It was Jack Chandler. Still making plays late in the game. And I tell you what, Brody Amos, freshman, he's got the Gus Bus's number on, and he looks like he might be able to fill those shoes. He's just a freshman.
Doing a great job out there. He was in on that last play.
He was.
Under a minute to go now in this one. And now Trout is going to bring it back to the line of scrimmage with a couple of wide receivers on the far side, one on the near side. And in the backfield is going to be Braden Romines. I guess that's how you say that.
Romines.
Romines, they're going to hand it off to Romines, and he runs up towards the middle of the field and gets it out across the 45. So
that might do it.
Pretty close to a first down. 32 seconds left to go in the game. Brings up 3rd and short.
And they don't have to run another play.
Looks like they may do it anyway, but we'll see. 20 seconds left to go in the ball game. It looks like they will line up. So 2 wide receivers to the far side, 1 on the near side. Romines in the backfield with Trout. He'll take the snap, turns, and hands it off. 9 seconds to go. Cuts towards the near side, and is going to be brought down over near the sidelines by a host of Tigers, and that is the ball game. That's the end. All right. The Darlington Tigers are victors tonight here at home. Start off the season 1-0. 48-24 is your final score. Congratulations to Coach Groves and his team. Coach Groves is 1-0 as a head coach there, Ian.
He is. The Groves era is off to a roaring start. And the Darlington Tigers continue their winning ways in the regular season. How many straight games is that in the regular season? We're going to have to do a little research. Yeah. An impressive streak that is continuing here. We saw a lot of new faces, called a lot of new names and numbers out there tonight, and are excited to see where this season's going to go. Big game next week against Sonoraville.
Let's take a quick break. Down the line on the radio, we'll come back and have the awarding of the Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake Player of the Game, and then we'll bid you adieu. Glad to have you with us tonight. Darlington wins 48-24 over the Christian Academy of Knoxville Warriors. And we will return in just 2 minutes.
Shop for your next car, truck, or SUV at Riverside Auto Group. Check out riversideautogroup.com today to browse their selection, or visit with them in person at Riverside Chevrolet Buick GMC in Rome, Riverside Toyota in Rome, and the all-new Riverside Buick GMC Cadillac in Cartersville. Locally owned and operated by the Welburn family since 1974. That's Riverside Auto Group. Visit riversideautogroup.com.
My name is Ryan Somerville. I am the sales manager for Business Water Solutions. We do water purification coolers as well as ice machines for any size business. We're on campus right now at Darlington School. Super happy to be here. They're one of our biggest customers. I myself played sports here. Our 2 founders played sports here. It was absolutely our pleasure to be a sponsor for Darlington Athletics. I think one thing that really sets us apart is our water purification. There's 13 stages. The reverse osmosis part of it has been a huge part of our success, along with our 24-hour guarantee for service calls. So when a customer does call us, we're guaranteed within 24 hours. We were able to provide a touchless water system to make it more COVID-friendly in terms of germs and touching the water system. One thing I always say is we're not selling a product, we're selling our service. That's what we really push for every single day, is to have a customer service experience like they've never had before.
At Rome Orthopedic Center, we salute students, freshmen and seniors, athletes and artists, first stringers and choral singers, band majors and game changers. We hope you never need orthopedic care, but if you do, choose the only practice in the Rome area solely dedicated to the orthopedic needs of the students and families in our community. Rome Orthopedic Center. To make an appointment, call 706-292-00.
Back to wrap things up. We're going to send it over to the scoreboard show in just a couple of moments. But there were a lot of great efforts, great team effort by the Tigers tonight. And you can point to so many guys that made contributions. We talked about the drive where we saw a lot of great runs there from Miles Schwyman. Sam Wooten with a couple of touchdown grabs. He had the one catch we referenced earlier where it got him down to the 1 yard line, and also recovered a fumble. So just a great game for him. Demarion Floyd had another great game here for the Darlington Tigers out here at Chris Hunter Stadium. And just so many great players tonight here for the Tigers.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They spread the ball around. Talon Shirey, Demarion Floyd, Sam Wooten, all made big plays, but there can only be one Honeymoon Bakery Icing on the Cake player of the game, and that is going to Sammy Konchesky this evening. 3 touchdowns on the ground, 1 through the air. Just seemed to put the ball in the right place, made really good decisions. First start, and I didn't see any mistakes out there. and that's impressive. So he managed the game well and had some explosive plays that really turned this game into a rout in the second half. So he's going to take home the honors tonight and enjoy some cupcakes.
Indeed, the final score tonight, Darlington wins it 48-24. Sammy Konchesky is going to be our honeymoon bakery icing on the cake player of the game, as you just mentioned. So what a night here at the Lakeside at Chris Hunter Stadium, and that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast. We're going to send it to Lynn and Austin for the Rome Orthopedic Center High School football scoreboard show, and they will have that until, I believe, midnight tonight is when that show ends. So it's going to be a great night of hearing the scores and getting phone calls and all that kind of stuff going on WLAQ. So if you're watching on the video feed tonight and you have not had your fill of high school football, we urge you to turn it on the radio and check out that program. So check it out.
We all want more, man.
That's right. Can't ever get enough of it, can we? Well, congratulations again to the Darlington Tigers. Off to a great start on the Coach Groves era. 1-0 to start the season. They will get ready to host Sonoraville coming up next week right here at Chris Hunter Stadium. We'll have all the action for you on WLAQ and also the Darlington School YouTube feed. And Toe Meets Leather at 7:30. Be there. All right, Ian, thank you so much for being here tonight. And definitely appreciate everybody watching and listening. We're going to bid you adieu tonight. Great job, obviously, by the Northwest Georgia media crew. And thanks to Darlington School for having us here tonight for the opportunity to broadcast these games. We're going to send it back to the studio for the scoreboard show. Take it away, fellas. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.